Welcome to the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep.
Touchdown, Braylon Edwards.
Braylon Edwards, touchdown, Michigan.
Running pattern to Edwards, touchdown, Michigan.
Where we bring you the best in sports, entertainment, and insight. Join us every weekday from 2 to 4 p.m. as we break down the latest games, analyze the biggest plays, and dive into the hottest topics in sports. We'll have exclusive interviews with your favorite athletes and guests, and you'll get a front row seat to all the action. So tune in to the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep.
Got one-on-one going end zone. Edwards in the air. Oh, what a catch by Braylon Edwards. His second touchdown of the game.
On the Woodward Sports Network, where sports comes to life.
Let's go!
For the past month, we've been clamoring for Brad Holmes and the Detroit Lions to do something. We want them to do something, and that something was take care of the center position. That was a position, along with the offensive line, that has created what the Detroit Lions have become known for the past 4 years. And what do? Before we get there, we're going to have a lot of fun. No Shep today. We got Anson Wells ready to rock and roll.
You are hype.
I am. The crew, the gang, everybody's all here, man. So
Fired
let's not
up.
waste now. We'll talk about the Pistons. We'll talk about Michigan State. We'll get to that in the back end. I think right now the people came here to see what the people came here to see. And what that was, the Detroit Lions now have signed CADE MAYS to a 3-year deal worth $25 million, fully guaranteed, $14 million of that deal. So even with the Detroit Lions getting one of the best centers in the draft, they still did it their way, saved some money while doing it. The reason I bring up save money, put up the other contract, if you will, real quick, because another center around the NFL signed today. Baltimore Ravens Tyler Linderbaum signed with the Las Vegas Raiders. Do you see the difference in the deal? One guy guaranteed $60 million, one guy guaranteed $14 million. One guy's making upwards of 26 and some change per year. One guy's making a little less than that, and also it still feels neat. Now get back to CADE, because we don't care about Tyler Linderbaum anymore. It is CADE MAYS, the Detroit Lions newly acquired center. Chat. How you guys feeling? This is one of those things. A lot of people starting to see the Brad Holmes confidence level, the confidence meter go in the opposite direction. Here we are, first day free agency just started 2 hours ago. And the pick I think that a lot of people wanted here in Detroit, CADE MAYS, is now Detroit Lion. Anson, what's up, brother? What you thinking? What's the move?
I got to be honest. Thank God that this happened between 1 and 2.
Yes.
Because the tempo of the first 2 shows, the vibes,
the chat was
man. Listen,
Yeah.
the SOL people that have been coming after SOL Anson just because I said we're SOL until we make a Super Bowl, well, you guys have shown your true colors over the weekend and over the first half of Monday. So thank goodness that this news came down. There are a bunch of Lions fans that are walking off the Ambassador Bridge right now. They were ready to jump. They're walking off right now. They're safe.
Why is it so much Kool-Aid, Cam? Why is it so much that the people are walking off the bridge now? I mean, this is just one move. Now, I have my thoughts. I'll give my thoughts after this. But why are the people walking back with the signing of CADE MAYS, if you will?
Frank Ragnow, my friend. Listen, this team has gone with the run game. We've had a historic running back tandem. And then last year we thought our offensive line was invincible. You lose Ragnow. Taylor Decker's not the same. You're leaning on second-year players. Run game just didn't work. Sure, we were a top 5 scoring offense last year, but there were games, i.e. Pittsburgh, i.e. Minnesota, where we should have been able to cram that ball down their throat, and we couldn't. So now we just lose Monty a week ago. We can't run the ball. Our offensive line is in shambles. We don't have the money for Linderbaum. We can't use our first-round pick on a rookie. We can't put it all on a rookie's hands. So going out, we missed out on McGovern. Bills keep him. We talked about that. That was the guy I felt was the best fit. But MAYS is right behind him in terms of guys. I like saying scumbag, not a dirtbag. This guy's a scumbag. He's going to get down and dirty. He's going to do the stuff you don't want to do. That's the perfect guy in the middle of a Detroit Lions line. Lions fans are going to love him.
It's a perfect pickup if you look at the offensive line. First of all, Anson, they're called the Big Uglies. Those are the guys up
yes,
front,
sir.
the Big
I'll
Uglies,
take
which
that.
he is one of. The deal works because, one, he's in line with the same age as the guys on your squad. He's 27-year-old. He's in line, still has a lot left in the meter, in the tank, if you will. He's coming in. The price point is right. Often now we talk about here in the city of Detroit, the price point has to be right. It's not about getting the big splash. If it's about the right deal, it's the right price point. What can you save? You save on the price point. You get a guy Also, too, last year for the Carolina Panthers, he gave up 0 sacks. He let nothing come through the middle.
Love that.
You talk about the Carolina Panthers making the playoffs. You talk about Bryce Young becoming a better version of himself. There's no secret. The reason why, or one of the reasons why, is when you got a guy like CADE MAYS in the front protecting that. You protect that aspect, and you had a better season than he's had in the previous. So exciting news for the Detroit Lions, who, 2 Detroit Lions players, and we don't want to forget about that, are going other places, if you will. Amik Robertson, he's getting signed. You got that graphic. Throw that up there. We know Alex Anzalone. There it is. Amik, he's going to the Washington Commanders.
More breaking news.
100%. We wish him well. We wish him nothing but the best. $16 million, $9 million, and then go to Alex Anzalone. Alex Anzalone, he's going to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This is a league he is familiar with, or a division, having played for the Saints. He's familiar with the Bucs. Signs a deal, 2 years, $17 million. The reason why those two are important deals, in my opinion, Kool-Aid and Anson, that means they're going to get another DB.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to get DB. They're going to get that DB in free agency to let you know, look, we want to spend some money. We value that position. And also, too, with Alex Anzalone. Alex Anzalone, a staple here, got better as
Probably
years
your
gone.
best coverage linebacker, too.
And I think that's why they got rid of him, because he is not the best coverage linebacker.
100%.
So now, 100%, you bring in, now you have the opportunity to get another linebacker to help out Derek Barnes, as well as Jack Campbell, who was all-pro last season. But CADE MAYS, Detroit Lion, that's a hell of a pick, and that's a hell of a move. We've been questioning, what are they going to do? And I think the big thing for the fan base, and I want you guys to talk about, how are you guys feeling about the move? I saw all the comments all week. I saw all the moves as Max Crosby gets signed and other people start getting signed at 12 o'clock. It's like the stick point meme. Come on, do something.
Do something.
And you're right. You want your team to do something. But I think more than anything, you want them to do the right thing. And CADE MAYS feels like Kool-Aid, the right move, the right time for the right team.
It does feel like the right thing, especially
beginning though.
Yeah. I'm glad that you said that just beginning, because one of my questions today, not in this opening segment while we're just digesting everything, but one of my questions is going to be, what is next? Because the counterbalance to that news is 2 players that we have relied upon the last few years are now walking out that door. So there's still a lot to go. But we know this. Before they had things figured out on the defensive side of the ball, we do know that they had things figured out on that offensive line, and it was able to carry them far. So to go and get that center, that's going to help not just Mr. Jared Goff, but also the running backs, Mr. Jameer Gibbs, running up the middle.
And the guards. Those young guards. Having that guy next to him.
This ripple effect, this one signing with a player that well who didn't allow a sack last year. I'm just like, you know what? Let's go.
Yes.
This is the way you get back to making sure that offensive line can be that, not just the best unit because everything else is bad, but because it's leading the way as it relates to your tough dudes out there, man. I'm fired up for this. So I'm fired up for CADE MAYS.
Yeah, definitely fired up about CADE MAYS. Definitely fired up for the situation, because you're absolutely correct with this one signing. You now kind of see the shape of what they want to do with this offensive line. We know the rumors about right going to left. I don't believe that's a rumor. I believe that's where Penei Sewell is going. Penei's going from right. He's going to left. Now Tate Ratledge, your right guard who learned last year. And then when you look at the statistics, when you look at how he played last year, you realize he actually did not have a bad rookie campaign at all. Now he stays your right guard. Now he has that experience. You have an experience in CADE MAYS at the center position. Now you know you're going to draft a tackle. Yeah. Now you know you draft your right tackle.
It's a lot easier to replace right tackle.
100%. And now with that move, rookie right tackle, left tackle Penei Sewell, CADE MAYS, Tate Ratledge, and then your left guard position with Christian Mahogany. That now looks much better than it looked last year.
No doubt. Can somebody check on Maz? Because I bet he's doing a lot better right now. Hey, I know we're going to be a little sad to say goodbye to Anzalone and Amik, but you know what that means? It means we get faster, and it means we get bigger. Because you look at DJ Reed and you look at Amik Robertson, these guys are heavily relied upon corners that are 5'10", all right? You guys remember the wide receivers we have in this division? You can't get away with that. And then Anzalone, great guy, played over his head, played well beyond what we could have ever imagined he would be when we signed him here. But he's in his 30s now. As you said, the guy might be the quickest guy out there, but he's not a great coverage, linebacker. So now you get an opportunity to get younger at your linebacker position, get faster, and then hopefully you get bigger corners. You've got to get bigger, more physical corners for this team.
Yeah, cornerback definitely the next position they need to focus on. I think looking at Terry and Honor and DJ Reed, like one of those guys could be your nickel corner. one of those guys could be a guy on the inside. I know you don't want to play DJ Reed that kind of money to play on the inside, but
that's where he should be.
That's where you need a bigger corner. That's where the game is kind of going, if you will. But K moves, man. This is a great move for the Detroit Lions. Want to see what else comes down that pipeline. Yeah. Kool-Aid is going to be active. He's going to let us know, as well as Brendan. We appreciate it. He's going to keep you up to date on what's going on. We'll get back into K-Mays and Lions in brief moment. I just want to let you know what other trades have happened around the league.
A lot of them.
Get you going. A lot of moves have happened. Malik Willis, yes, sir. We talked about it on this show. What was the best fit for Malik Willis at quarterback? Well, Jeff Hafley is now with the Miami Dolphins, and guess who else? The Miami Dolphins. It's Malik Willis. 3 years, $67.5 million, $22.5 a year. Kudos to him. Every time they put him in the game, he looked like something, whether it was in Tennessee where he didn't have much to work with or whether it was in Green Bay. Also, kudos to a guy that used to sit in that chair because
that's his boy.
Remember, that's his boy. Him and Maz, Ryan and Maz, they love Malik Willis, and he caught hell to pay. Malik was this, he wasn't that. Well, Malik just got paid.
I thought he was a bust.
You know what I'm saying? People believe in Malik, and once you have people that see you, and when Jeff Hafley was in Green Bay, he was able to kind of see what Malik was like. You go down there in Miami, I know the guy that I want. I want a guy that can lead this franchise.
Sam Darnold was a bust too, right?
Kudos. Now, here's a move. This is the move that I saw. When I saw it, I'm like, this opens up the door potentially for K-Mays because they're not going to have that much money. And that is Jalen Phillips, formerly of the Philadelphia Eagles, formerly of the Miami Dolphins. He signs a deal with the Carolina Panthers, which I never saw that coming.
No.
4 years, $120 million. And I say to that, man had 5.5 sacks last year.
Are they cooking something up in Carolina,
yes.
Or are they just cooking the books?
Meth. No, I'm just joking. But realistically, though, this is a move where I think I liked him with the Philadelphia Eagles. I thought that he could be something. I thought that would be a move he made, but they weren't in tune to try to pay him that type of money. And that's the crazy thing about free agency. It's just not what you're willing to pay somebody, or it's not just a number. It's what someone is willing to pay. And if Carolina Panthers are willing to pay $120 for Jalen Phillips, another big move made today. Some shaking ground going on in the Indianapolis Colts. Alec Pierce gets paid 4 years, $120. They ship Michael Pittman out in the trade.
$120. That's 4 years.
Yeah.
$120.
Yeah.
That's $30 million a year.
100%.
Who's he? Like, there aren't many wide receivers paid more than that, right?
But that's what happens each year. The money goes up. They can do more. Owners.
This is ridiculous.
I agree.
Now, you look at his RAS score and his size, speed measurables. When he came out, he was top 90th percentile. But where's the production?
I don't know. But you know who did have some production, and they were on the move too. We didn't get a chance to talk about this on Friday. It happened Saturday. Max Crosby, the jig is up. No more trying to figure out where is he going. Is it going to be the Cowboys? Is it going to be in your division? Is it going to be your team? Max Crosby signed with the Baltimore Ravens, and we also thought it was going to take two picks and a player when the Lions said they were in the hunt and pulled back, but it actually ended up taking 2 first-round picks, and the Ravens better picks than the Lions in the next 2 seasons. Thoughts, Max Crosby?
Yeah, we got to hang out here for a minute.
Yeah, go ahead.
Listen, I'm the guy. I don't want to give up the future. We've talked about this ad nauseum.
I was waiting to talk to you.
You get frustrated on it, but I did say, hey, listen, when we heard this, it was 2 Fridays ago that apparently we pulled out, pause, because of the whole Terrion Arnold situation. I knew Kool-Aid was like that.
Hey, where you bringing up old stuff? K-Mays, baby, K-Mays. K-Mays. We're good now. No, but go ahead, though.
I forgot my place. He got me laughing.
Just thinking about what the possibility was for potentially bringing him in. Was it too steep? Was it not steep enough?
The thing is that's the deal you have to do.
Yeah.
All right? You look at your 17th pick this year, you're not going to get a Max Crosby. You look at our best picks. Okay, so maybe you trade Campbell and Jameer for a guy like Crosby. Okay, we're probably not doing that. But you're talking about much different picks. Right here, you're talking about a 17th pick, and then hopefully next year, 29, 30, 31, 32, you do that all day for Max Crosby. Now, we're hearing some things come down the pipeline that there were some other suitors that he almost ended up with, but they liked what the Ravens had to offer. So, yeah, their first-round pick was better than ours. My question for you guys in the chat is, what else would you have given up? No third-round picks this year, but we got 2 fourths. I'm giving a 4th-rounder to get that done. I'm giving them both to get that done. And the fact that there's no player in this deal Does that mean we wouldn't have had to do Aleem? Does that mean that DJ Reed wasn't the sticking point? And because now Terrion's got some questions around him that they're not ready to move the DJ Reed contract to make this one happen. I wish they would have never leaked this, to be quite honest with you, because now when you're watching him go to Baltimore, and I've been hearing for the last couple of weeks, oh, we don't want to be Baltimore. We don't want to be the Bills. We want to be the Eagles, and we want to be the Patriots. Well, you know, those guys are there year in and year out. And I know that maybe Buffalo hasn't gotten over it, but this is that situation. This is the type of move that gets you there and keeps you there.
And we'll keep you abreast on all the other moves coming down the pipeline. There has been more moves made, but want to bring it back to Detroit. That's what you guys are here for. The other thing before we bring in Shep, you working on getting Shep in? Get that working in. The other thing is now what happens? What's the next move? I think defensive end. I think that's the move they focus on in the draft. Excuse me, not in the draft, in free agency. I think there's a lot of players that are being moved right now in free agency, but if you notice, there's corners being moved. There's wide receivers being moved. There's center offensive linemen moved. Hell, there's been 4 or 5 punters to get new deals in today in the first 2 hours. Haven't seen any what?
Edges.
There you go. Haven't seen any edges going. So I think that's going to be a move for the Lions. And go.
Is it going to be a specialist like an AQM?
I think I was looking at a Boye Mafe. I was looking at Owe from the Chargers. Looking at maybe Khalil Mack if you want to go a little bit older. It's going to be one of those in that type of price point. Kwity Paye is a number that came up. Like, I don't know what his ticket would be, but Kwity Paye is a guy whose number I have thought about for the Detroit Lions opposite of Aiden Hutchinson. I think that's the move to watch now. What are we talking about? Edge, center, edge, center, back and forth, back and forth. Well, you got your center now in CADE MAYS. I think now you look at the edge to help Aiden out because you're not trying to do it through the draft anymore. We're making this move. That's reserved for the tackle spot. So I'm looking at one of those type tier players come in.
And Rashawn Gary sounds like he's headed to the Cowboys.
The Dallas Cowboys, yeah, 100%.
Another name I wouldn't have minded seeing here.
I wanted to see him here as well, too. I thought the price point would be good. We would have had to pay him something, but it wouldn't have been astronomical, if you will. When you see guys like Jalen Phillips getting a bag like that, the names like Trey Hendrickson, you might want to forget about that because that's 40 and some change coming down that pipeline. Cool.
Yeah, Chad, give us your top 3. You're Brad Holmes. You get a chance to go out and spend some money of the available free agents. Give us your top 3 in the chat who you're going after.
Here's another conversation, too. Just what are you thinking of Brad Holmes right now? What is your thoughts on Brad Holmes and the regime? They come in, they don't waste any time. They get CADE MAYS, a big swing for them at that position. That was the key focal point this offseason. They make that move within 2 hours. Where are you at with Brad Holmes? Does this restore some of your faith in the guy?
Hope so.
Yeah, it should.
Hope so.
100% it should. Keep me posted on Shep as we wait down the pipeline. But a lot of news, excited. We're going to take a quick commercial break, tell you about Ben Johnson Law, and we're coming right back and get this thing going. Ben Johnson, B-E-N, he is the fighter. So let him fight for you. Whether it's a settlement or verdict, it doesn't matter. He wants to represent you, and he wants all things to be done that you need. VENfights.com, that's how you reach out to him. Him and his team, they've been doing it for a high value for a very long time. The fighter is ready to fight for you.
Hey, I might be biased because the very first Art and Jake's location was in my hometown, the Washington Romeo area. And listen, Art and Jake's is big on the community. March 14th, this Saturday, downtown Romeo, the Romeo Lions Club St. Baldrick's Festival is happening. It's an incredible event. All kinds of volunteers are going to bravely shave their heads to help fund childhood cancer research. But you don't have to shave your head. You can contribute as well. Get involved right now at romeosb.com to join the team. Get your head shaved, or like I said, you don't have to do that. You can still help out. Just scan that Art and Jake's QR code on the screen that you see right now, and you can donate directly to Art and Jake's team. Let's help them crush their goal this weekend. We'll see you out in Romeo.
Planet Fitness now has even more best-in-class strength equipment. Join today for $1 down and save.
We're stepping it up.
We're not slowing down.
Finding new faith, new focus.
Love that new equipment smell.
So, you in?
Join the club today. Save when you join for just $1 down, $15 a month. Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasto salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. Original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original, world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them. And that's not very nice.
Why do we fight? We fight to protect the innocent, to hold the powerful accountable, to bring the oppressors to justice. Why do we fight? We fight to secure and preserve our civil liberties, to get each and every one of our clients the justice they deserve, and to make the lives of real people just like you whole again. ThenFights.com.
To any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week, walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
Like a frostbite straight from the divine. Cold rush from my skin feels so fine. Muscle freeze, the ache. No side effects, no mistake. Chill sub-zero. Icy and true. Feel the chill. It's all for you. It's not magic, just science play.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon. Braylon Edwards and Shaq Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
It's game on at Art and Jake's. Wings, burgers, pizza, and ice-cold drinks served up with attention to detail. Wall-to-wall TVs, great service, and a vibe that keeps your crew coming back. Art and Jake's, a sports bar setting with a fine dining flavor.
Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential. With over 2,700 gyms nationwide, it is the gym for you. We're all strong on this planet, and that planet is Planet Fitness. There's no judgment here. In fact, it's home of the judgment-free zone. Also, too, there's trainers on staff to get you what you need, give you all the information, give you the advice. Remember, your fitness is essential, so take it seriously like we do at Planet Fitness.
Hey, the hype is real. It's real vodka, real iced tea, no bubbles, just a clean, crisp sip that won't fill you up on game day. I'm talking about Sun Cruiser. Only 100 calories and 4.5% alcohol. It's perfect for everything. Tailgates, couch gates, wherever you are watching Detroit sports this season. Let the good times cruise with Sun Cruiser and Woodward Sports. And please drink responsibly.
We back.
We definitely back. We are definitely back. Excited to hear the news about CADE MAYS joining the Detroit Lions. Kool-Aid, we want to get to send you super chats. Why don't we save those for a second? Just for 2 seconds. Let me just get this off. CADE MAYS, want to know a little bit more about him. Shout out to Dante151 that sent the piece in that we might not have known about here. CADE MAYS, Georgia, Tennessee. Got drafted in 2022, pick 199. But there is some form of relationship already there with CADE MAYS and one Hank Fraley. Check this video footage out of them at the Senior Bowl in 2022. 100%. Now This is one of those things in 2022. Jeff Risen, we appreciate you. Also appreciate you reminding us of Dante 151. These guys took the Senior Bowl trip when they were down there very seriously. They were able to dial into the players, see what type of players they want. And when you go to a combine, when you go to a bowl or all-star game, when you can get to see one-on-one interaction, when you get to see guys in there real time, you start to see, okay, maybe one guy is ranked here, but this is actually who I like. This is actually who fits our system. And so we've seen a lot of this over the years from Brad Holmes and their regime in terms of fitting guys into the system. Keep it in your memory banks. You keep it in your memory banks. You log it in your memory banks. And this is somebody they've probably always kept their eye on. And obviously last year with the Frank Ragnow situation, sped that process up. But this is a really good pickup for the Detroit Lions. And I like the fact in college, Kirby Joseph was his coach. In college, Josh Heupel was his coach. I always talk about it's the programs you come from that shape who you are. So just another little tidbit to why CADE MAYS makes sense for the Detroit Lions.
Shout out Dante 151, always watching, always with his finger on the pulse. I mean, this just screams more of the Lions' MO. They go with guys they know and trust. They don't love making trades for big names on other teams that they don't know well. These guys that they find through the draft process, they don't forget. Since these guys set foot in Detroit, if you got a chance to get in front of them during the Senior Bowl or the draft process, they're on your list, or you're on their list, should I say, at that point. And obviously, MAYS never got off that list.
Yeah, and this is one of those, it's a good move for the Detroit Lions. We hope to see what's coming down. We hope to see what else is coming through. We know they're going to make some more moves. I think it's going to be maybe edge, maybe even poaching certain teams like the Eagles. The Eagles seem like because they have so many good players, what happens when you have a ton of good players? You got to pay all these guys.
And their salary's tough, too.
And you can't afford to pay them. Yeah. So I've been hearing news about Jalen Carter potentially coming down the pipeline. Ooh. Somebody that I would be but not even, first of all, don't get me started. Y'all know what I said about Jalen Carter then, and I will always stay true to that. But I'm not looking at Jalen Carter. I'm looking at players like Nakobe Dean. Okay. Nakobe Dean is a great piece to replace Alex Anzalone. I loved him at Georgia, and since he's been healthy with the Eagles, it's somebody that I'm keeping my eye on.
He could do so much.
Yeah.
Absolutely. He'd be a great piece here.
Yeah, he definitely would be a great piece here, man. But just, keeping a look. What moves have impressed you today? Because there's been some moves, whether it's Minkah Fitzpatrick. He's now with the New York Jets, 3 years, $40 million. That's a move. Was it a trade by Pittman? Was it the Max Crosby move over the weekend? What are some moves where you're like, somebody's got to do something? Kenneth Walker going to the Kansas City Chiefs, the highest free agent contract the running back has ever signed. He's now
that one's terrifying to me, and I love it. I love seeing the Spartan dog.
Go ahead, it's just Spartan, man.
Yeah, I mean,
Mr.
Spartan
5
dog,
touchdowns.
No doubt. Him going there, I think Maz had talked about that during the season, saying that he would end up over there, and that's. Hey, a lot of people want to say that KC's done. A lot of people worried about Mahomes' injury. This franchise, not the team, but the franchise is going nowhere. They do things the right way. Obviously, they fell short last year quite a bit, but they're going to bring back Kelsey, and I know he looks like he's done, but he still hasn't been able to do his retirement tour. He'll get his rocking chair. Yeah. This will be his last chair, and he'll be honored every stop that he goes to. I love that deal. The Max Crosby deal to a team that they would have been in the playoffs if that defense isn't hurt so badly for half the season. Yeah. So now you get that defense back healthy, and you add in Max Crosby. This might be Lamar's year. That's the type of move that is for Baltimore.
Glad he's in the AFC because we're hoping that it's the Detroit Lions year, and moves like CADE MAYS, they make it a situation. You're looking, okay, here they go, rocking and rolling. Kool-Aid, what you got over there?
You know what? The people have been doing their thing.
Thank
you guys for being here and supporting us. Smash that like button 100%. If you haven't gotten an opportunity.
This is what the people wanted.
Let's go.
Brad Holmes and the Lions are speaking for you, man. Let's see your appreciation.
And we got four super chats already in the system. She loves me on payday. One of my favorite chat names.
Handles, yeah.
$5 super chat says, I know my boy Kool-Aid loves this move because his name is CADE. LOL. Shout out CADE Cunningham. Shout out CADE MAYS.
Shout out CADE MAYS. Cade Cunningham, man. Him and his boys, we're going to have to talk about a little later in the show. But
tomorrow? Another day?
Keep pushing it down the pipeline. It's tough. It's been tough.
Dante 151 always supporting, whether it's on socials or right here in this chat that should be named after him. $4.99 super chat, and he does have the number one crown today. He says CADE MAYS has missed at least 5 regular season games due to injury during his NFL career with the Carolina Panthers. That's over 3 years. So he says he definitely likes that.
Oh, okay. I was just saying, I thought like 5 each year.
Over the course
that
of
ain't bad.
He worded that differently, but I got
me for a second, Dante.
Yeah. Let me see here. Stephen Baffy, $5 super chat. He says, Brad and Dan have turned the page. Buckle up. This is a new era of Detroit Lions.
I wonder if he'd have said that 2 hours ago.
I see what you're doing there, Stephen Baffy.
100%. It's a little bit sarcasm there, but look, at the end of the day, this is when free agency started. Deals won't be allowed to get actually inked and signed till Wednesday, but this is when the non-tampering period opened up, which is today. So it's very good news that we got a chance to see. Like I said, they didn't waste time. 2 hours in, boom, here's CADE MAYS. Deals already been talked about. It also means they've already been talking to CADE MAYS. That's another big thing. Like if deals aren't signed, guys have been having these conversations, if you will, the non-tampering period. They've been talking. They've been moving, whether it's been through agents, whether it's been through third-party people, whether it's been in Cabo over margaritas or whatever. They've been having these conversations.
Probably not Cabo right now, to be honest.
Well, not Cabo because we know what's going on with that country. But yes, 100%.
Quintana Roo.
Okay.
I just say that to say it's good that they're having these conversations and you're letting out the bag. So now when you have a conversation where they're saying, hey, look, we said that, we were in on we were in on Tyler Linderbaum, Max Crosby, just didn't necessarily go our way and we pulled out. When you fire back with a CADE MAYS move on today, maybe there's something to listen to, like, okay, they weren't blowing smoke.
They should have never let that Max Crosby information out.
I would agree.
Yeah. I mean,
but it's not the first time they said they were in on somebody. Like it was like last week when we talked about it. It's the age old Detroit. Oh yeah, we were in on this and then we pulled back. But to say you were in on this and then actually have a move on Monday, I said at least it.
Well, it's not just about we were close and making you feel like, okay, well at least they made the calls on Max Crosby. You have thrown Terrion Arnold under the bus.
Yeah.
The whole of Detroit now believes Max Crosby is not a Lion because of TA. So why are you doing that? Are you fluffing your fan base just to make him think that you made a call? Because you did it the wrong way. Because now they're turning their back on their third-year first-round pick.
Yeah,
a guy that's already a little maligned in this city, a guy that likes pass interference calls, a guy that's clearly in the news right now. Don't say anything. Don't say anything. Don't go and get Max if Terrion's such a roadblock to it, but don't tell us that Terrion is the roadblock.
Breaking news.
Oh, what do we got now?
The conference just gets a little bit tougher.
Oh, boy.
The San Francisco 49ers that finished 12-5 last year on an injury-ridden season, they just got a little bit better. They just acquired Mike Evans, six-time Pro Bowler Mike Evans, expected to sign a 3-year deal with the San Francisco 49ers. Now, this sucks in terms of him being a staple in Tampa and wanting that to ride into the sunset, et cetera, et cetera. Man's already got his championship, and he's looking for another one. 49ers and Mike Evans, this is solid. Now you have a legit red zone touchdown threat. You got a guy that elevates the leadership level in that locker room. Now you have a young guy like Ricky Pearsall. You can learn some things from him, et cetera. Juwan Jennings.
Where's Brandon Ayuk going?
He's going to he's going to Washington.
Yes, sir.
He's going to the Commanders. So he'll go over there with his boy Debo, and they'll get a chance to figure it out. But this is a really good move.
So what happens with Terry McLaurin then? Is Terry McLaurin on his way out?
You said what?
That's a lot of wide receivers in there.
Yeah, but they're not scary. Terry.
Remember, he held out and then signed that extension.
He got paid last
year.
So
now Jaden Daniels going to have a big 3.
100%.
Commanders are
and that's
awesome.
awesome.
Season.
We knew this was going to happen. They took it easy last year. Jalen just had to figure it out a little bit. What is Jalen going to do? He's injured. They were ready for this year to lock and load. But I like this move for the San Francisco 49ers. Another reason that you got to have that veteran leadership in the offensive room. See, they have it in Fred Warner on defense. I think offense is where they're lacking. They got a young quarterback. Trent Williams is an interesting character, if you will. You had characters like Debo Samuel as well as Brandon Ayuk. This gives them some to balance that with George Kittle.
It's a true one.
100%.
And like Debo, they schemed him all over the place. They were using him as a running back one year, which he didn't like. Ayuk has never seemed to be happy in the Bay Area. So now you bring in this guy that's truly a number one, that's wearing a ring. Purdy's going to be real damn happy throwing the ball to him and Kittle.
It gives you a situation kind of like the 49ers, like the Rams, where you have Devontae Adams is the older wide receiver. He's the one you're going to for the touchdown.
Yes,
Puka Nacua is the one getting all the yards as well as touchdowns. I think they'll try to move Ricky Pearsall into that role.
Yeah, but Ayuk's gone at this point. I think they trade him.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Yeah, they trade him. And
so
then
Mike Evans.
Yeah, but no, Evans with Pearsall and then the other kid who had a great finish to the season this last year, man. Purdy's going to be dangerous. That team's going to be dangerous again, especially if they're healthy.
Getting back to the Lions, thinking about what is the next 2 days, you can't really start signing inking deals until Wednesday. The thing that needs to happen next for them is the contract. You got to get the restructures.
Oh, yeah.
Like the contract restructuring is very key in these moments because now that you're bringing in CADE MAYS, now that you're potentially going after players like Odafe or Owe, trying to go after maybe a Boye Mafe, trying to put guys like that, you're going to have to spend more money. There's more money coming down the pipeline. You're going to get another DB. You're going to get a 2 DB that's, like you said, a little bit bigger. Got to spend money to do it.
Those are 2 names I love.
Yeah.
I know that Owe was brought up by KG this morning, actually. It was yesterday morning? Yeah, today's Tuesday.
Shout out to KG.
So, no, today's Monday. Man, I'm lost. But no, that's the type of player where you're not getting a specialist so much they can do multiple things, but are also specialized in what they would bring to this team. Got to get younger, got to get faster, got to get bigger.
Yeah, 100% Kool-Aid. Where we at with it?
Hey, yeah, we got a couple more super chats in here. I'm going to read this one first from J-Rod Sayers because it's just an announcement. Okay. But he sent in $20 super chat.
You should
J-Rod, shout out to you, brother. Can't wait to see you back in studio as well. He says, update for the D2 B-ball bracket. Grand Valley State men's and women won the GLIAC tournaments for auto bids. Men are number 2, women are number 1 in the Midwest. Women defending the title. It says, Anson, look up Coach Mike Williams. Grand Valley State University women. He says he's greater than Gino. And then the second one that's in the system right now, Ryan's reaction. I wonder how you guys feel about this one. $4.99 super chat, while everybody else is pretty happy about this move. He says that his PFF overall grade for CADE MAYS was a 66.1. He says that's 19th out of 64 with a pass block of 74.9, 9th. And he says, and run blocking was 66.9, 21st. And he goes, Super Bowl, here we come, with what looks to be an exasperated emoji.
And he's just entering his prime at 27. I mean, you're going to get 4 primetime years out of this kid.
Yeah, 100%. I was looking at a move that was made by the Chicago Bears acquiring Kobe Bryant, DB out of...
Yeah, just saw that come through.
DB out of Seattle. And he was really good last year. I want to say he was out of Cincinnati. And he was nice. That's a hell of a move for the Bears, getting another defensive back. Don't know what Jalen Johnson is going to be from time to time. He's come back last year and he was injured, so hell of a move by them.
Devin Bush to the Bears as well.
That's another good move.
Just now. Shout out to that's via Adam Schefter.
It's not even just because of the University of Michigan ties, man. Like you watch when he first got to Pittsburgh, got injured. He had a good rookie year. Then he got injured a couple of times. Then they moved on from him because of the injuries. He found his footing, if you will, and now you pick him up. That's a really good pickup.
Solid player for sure.
Solid pickup. But some good stuff happening around the league.
Reload, man. They're locking in. It's interesting
because you can't stay the same.
That's what I was going to say.
You can't stay the same.
It's interesting to see how the NFC in particular is doing things because it seems like the Niners, they don't really have any concern of falling off. You know what I mean? I've continued to see and believing that they're about to enter into the geriatric world of NFL football, and they have other plans completely. And then you see some of these other teams in the NFC say, we're not standing pat. We got to get better. The Bears, this team is not standing idly by. Obviously, there were rumors that they wanted Max Crosby as well, but when that didn't come through, they went supercharged. And so it's cool to see these other things happening, but now we see Brad Holmes enter his name into the chat as well with a big deal that I think helps this Lions team greatly. So it's going to be interesting to see. Obviously, everybody in the chat is fired up for this first move, but I think everybody is especially waiting to see what happens with linebacker and that secondary for the Detroit Lions. But I'm ecstatic, bro, about this offensive line finally taking what I believe to be that step back towards greatness in this NFL.
100% that step back towards greatness starts with the offensive line for the Detroit Lions. But excited to see what that line is going to look like, especially once they add that draft piece to the right tackle position. But Anson, where are you going right now? Your Detroit Lions, you're making obviously a free agent acquisition. You got to spend some money. Where are you going right now? Take some dollars from the Detroit Lions. Tell me where you're going.
I'm going to give you 4 names right now.
Okay.
There's a name that a lot of people have thrown around, and it's along the MD lines, but he's healthy. He's been largely healthy for 16 years now. I think that Cam Jordan would be a solid addition to this team. Looks like we got something going here. Kool-Aid?
Oh, just our brother in show, Mr. Shep.
Oh, all right. If you want to re-ask me that question after we get Shep on here.
Yeah, no, definitely, because I want to talk about Cam Jordan a little bit in terms of what he can bring. It's another, it can be like a Mike Evans move, if you will. Just not as much. I hear him moving around. I hear him moving around.
Look at our guy.
There he is.
Well, look at him. He's fired up.
Shep's out there living that good life on the West Coast. It's sunny here too, Shep. And I think it got a little more sunny right around 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with the news that CADE MAYS is now the center for the Detroit Lions. First thoughts, big guy.
I'm living the Braylon Edwards life out here right now. All I know is throw around, some easy names of Braylon Edwards and Kool-Aid and Sweet Potato Cam and Anson, and everybody starts to turn and they say, "Oh, you are somebody." Yeah, I'm really fired up, you guys. I think it solidifies, the middle of that offensive line. You keep Ratledge at guard, which I like a lot. Now you move Penei Sewell to left tackle. You draft a right tackle at some point. You know how I feel about the left guard spot. Kid out of Penn State. I love what Anson just said. I know he and I don't agree on a lot of stuff. I love what he just said regarding Cam Jordan. I think you could get him for a very inexpensive piece, and I think the Lions, the people freaking out, whether it be our group chat or people on social media, I think it's overblown a little bit. You just got to sometimes take a deep breath, and everything's going to be all right, unless Marcus Davenport is in a Lions uniform, which I would find very hard to believe.
We don't say his name. We don't say his name out loud.
He's just MD. You're absolutely right, Shep. The more you have these shows and conversations, I think for the Detroit Lions fans, man, they start to see players leaving, players not coming, no conversation, no mentions, no motion, nothing like that. You start to get worried, especially coming off the season, you don't make the playoffs. But to your point, if you relax, if you chill, if you're patient, you remember that Brad Holmes still knows how to make moves, if you will. What will be the next move for you? Obviously, they have to restructure, but that's not going to happen today or tomorrow, if you will. What's the immediate next move on the heels of CADE MAYS signed? As people are moving, because that's the one thing we didn't say, Shep. There's so many moves happening around the NFL and a lot happening in your own conference.
Yeah, there's a lot. You guys know this. I don't think you can be reactionary. I think you've got to go with a plan. My hope is that he has a solid plan, and I think he does. I don't think you get in that position and you have some success that he's had without having a plan, and then you stick to your plan. You don't start to overreact. That is our job. That is fans' jobs. Oh my gosh, look at who everybody is drafting. Look at who everybody is trading for. Look at who everybody is signing. We've got to do something. You don't do it just for the sake of doing it. You do it with the right way. So I think now they address the defensive end position. They can still draft a young defensive end. I would like to see somebody added in the secondary before the draft comes.
Yeah, 100%. Definitely want to see somebody in the secondary. And with moves like Meek Robertson signing elsewhere, moves like Alex Anzalone signing elsewhere. I was just thinking, for me, I want a linebacker as well, and I want to poach another team. I'm seeing teams like Philadelphia that have way too many good players, a lot of their players making too much money. What about a guy like Nakobe Dean from Georgia? Bring him in and replace Alex Anzalone. Yeah.
I love him. Tremaine Edwards would have been a really nice one. Look, there's a lot of names out there that we can get infatuated with, and I have been, just like you guys have been. But, I think there's a situation right now where the Lions recognize their needs just as much as we do. So I don't care if it's a really big name. CADE MAYS is not a big name. Everybody knows that. But as Anson just mentioned, 26, getting into his 27th year, you got him for a few seasons where his prime seasons, and you're not overpaying. That's what I like about it. I know everybody wanted Tyler Linderbaum, and I guess he's going to the Raiders.
When you look at that deal,
I like this move.
When you look at that deal, it handicaps you a lot if you're the Las Vegas Raiders.
Dude, that's a lot of money for a center.
And what quarterback is he even protecting? Oh, the rookie, right? That's why they got him.
100%. Fernando Mendoza is the move. Yeah, good call by you.
Hey, how about a name I like, Clavon Chason, as a replacement to Alex Anzalone, Shep?
Once again.
I'm not going to try to fool you. I don't know enough about him, Anson. The Nakobe Dean I like an awful lot, but I don't know enough about him, so I can't really comment that much on him. I think you need a guy who can move. Anzalone can move. He can cover. Those are the most important things, the characteristics. So I haven't been able to research that as much as I probably need to. So when I get in that seat that you're in right now, you're keeping it nice and warm. I get in there on Wednesday after a red eye. I can't wait to talk to them more about this because it's going to be awesome.
Here, let me let you know, ask you something that you knew something about. Michigan State yesterday. What did you see real quick before we get out of here? We haven't talked about it yet. We're going to save it to the end of the show, but just wanted to get your thoughts while we had you on the phone. What did you see yesterday?
Yeah, so I'm here in Rolling Hills Country Club in Los Angeles, and I'm sitting here asking everybody, well, they're watching the Lakers play, and I'm screaming at Doncic. I'm telling everybody I want to see Michigan State. So I start watching with people who aren't necessarily Michigan State fans, and I'm talking about how long Michigan and how big. Michigan State showed me something too now. Yeah. Okay, I mean that's a team that they're fighting, they're scrapping, they're clawing. I like that game the way it went for both teams to a certain extent. Michigan has shown, obviously, the real deal all season long. Their length is a problem. Michigan State needs to be able to shoot the basketball better than what they did. Now, people complain about the free throw shooting, but the free throw shooting is at the end, a lot of it. I think it's a very evenly matched team. I think Michigan State showed me that if they're on their game, they can make an Elite Eight, and Michigan, without question, a national championship contender.
All right, we know you're on the golf course, man, so I want you to get back to it. We'll save CADE and the Pistons for when you get back.
Yeah, that's a bit of a problem, isn't it, man? Losing 4 in a row. I don't worry about that as much, but I do look at what Boston has done recently, and I know you guys will talk about this. I mean, you and I have both been on this bandwagon of Cleveland, and for good reason, I think, when they're healthy with Harden and Mitchell. Mitchell's got, 30 games of 30 points or more this year. But the way the Celtics have been playing as of late coming together, there is a reason why a lot of people felt like when Jason Tatum came back, they'd be a problem. They're proven to be a bit of a problem.
Jaylen Brown's been averaging almost 30, seeing 2 and 3 defenders at a time, and now he's seeing ISOs. It's going to be a problem.
Dude, I love him. You know that. Yeah. I think he's an awesome player. I think he belongs in the MVP conversation without question. But I know J.B. Bickerstaff said he's not thinking about him. Deep down inside, I would guess he has to be thinking about them a little bit.
Yeah. Well, here's the man, the myth, the legend, and he is enjoying his time out in California. Shep, we miss you, and we will see you soon, brother. CADE MAYS,
I miss you
Detroit
guys too,
Lions.
man. I mean, keep killing it, fellas. Keep killing it.
Let's go, brother.
Yes, we will, 100%. Right. Hey, get an eagle, man.
No, I've never heard of it. But I've never heard of it on the golf course.
I appreciate the honesty, man. We'll check in with you later, Shep. All right, appreciate it. Shout out to the man, the myth, the legend, Matt Shep, man. Like, this was exciting to have him on the call because he's legitimately been mentioning CADE MAYS' names every time we bought the center. It was Tyler Linderbaum for me. It was other ones. It was never anybody. Connor McGovern for you. It was nobody but CADE MAYS, and the price point, everything he mentioned, kind of echoing the same sentiments that we did now with the offensive line, understanding what the moves are. You move the best offensive lineman in the game to left tackle. You draft yourself a right tackle. Do you have to draft that right tackle in the first round? Like, that's the next question. Does it have to be a first-round right tackle to make you feel better about yourself, or do you like the offensive line where you feel like you can take a chance with a second-round tackle?
Oh, they might not be done, right? I mean, if they go out and get a left or right tackle, we'll know a lot more. It could be somebody that's a stopgap kind of veteran that they can plug in for maybe that first year or for the first 10, 12 games until the rookie is there, but this team doesn't draft for need.
No.
No matter how much Lions fans would like to see that, they don't draft for need. This situation here really puts them, they're only one guy out. They're only one guy away. And there's a multitude of ways that they could do that. I don't necessarily think that they actually go out with that number 1 pick and use it. It's all going to come down to who's on that 18-man list, But, no, I don't think that that's, you can't set and forget that now with Brad Holmes.
This is true. The only thing about it, man, when you get an opportunity to draft the right tackle in this league, the one thing about the Lions, the offensive line, when it was what it was, we saw what they were able to do. Whether it was Ben Johnson,
man.
whether it was whether it was Ben Johnson or whether it was Dan Campbell calling plays, they were able to do some things when you had an offensive line that could protect. So that's what I'm looking at. You draft another right tackle. Panay's not going anywhere. You now have 3 years in CADE MAYS. You have Tate Riley still on a rookie deal. You haven't signed him yet, and then you get another one. That just prepares you for what Jahmyr Gibbs and whoever number 2 is going to be, gives you a little bit of length on that.
I'm just so glad they didn't move Ratledge to center.
I am
have to replace him now, and it's. But by doing this, you only have one spot left that you got to figure out.
Not that he could not, go from playing right guard all year to now playing center to figuring it out in the season. When you get some motion, he got some really good motion last year at the right guard position. Like, until we looked at those stats and you start to realize he started to really come into his own last season. The offensive line as a whole wasn't good, so we weren't paying attention specifically to him. Keep him at that position. Yeah. Keep growing in that position. This is what this move also signifies. And lastly, Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
Lastly, this lets us know that they were serious when they said, we saw what we saw last year.
Yeah.
We saw what everybody said. The offensive line was not good. This lets us know they took that serious, and you got to give kudos to them. They took the fact that Taylor Decker looked old last year. They took the fact that, hey, you know what? We know what we used to be. We got to get back to being that. Not having Frank Ragnow out there, it exposed a lot with that offensive line. So kudos to them for taking it serious.
Kudos to them for taking it serious. And at the beginning of free agency, they said that they were going to go after a veteran or a seasoned offensive lineman. And I think at the time it was a tackle, but the notion was that it would be a player that could play that center position or be versatile. With it being CADE MAYS, that just takes it to a completely different level, because you guys are exactly right. That's where my excitement comes from. It's because I remember exactly who we were when we had that offensive line together. It didn't really matter who was getting injured on the defensive side sometimes. As long as we knew that offensive line was getting the proper attention and investment, that it was going to be what floated this team. And then on top of that, I'm so glad you mentioned Tate Ratledge. I was sitting on the edge of my seat ready to say, you know what? I actually think year 2 Tate Ratledge is going to be a monster. Just figuring things out and learning things, he was still beyond serviceable. Yeah. But that offensive line he was playing with didn't really do him a whole lot of favors, especially when you consider the big fella was playing injured most of the year, and Penei Sewell too. So this year coming in, you're talking about health to this lineup. You're talking about a new player in this lineup playing the center position. And I do believe that overall these young players, and for me, zoomed in a little bit more, Tate Ratledge, I do believe that Tate is going to take off in this second year. I think he's going to be, as you can judge an offensive lineman, we're going to know if that dude is doing his job.
100%. 100%, man. Still excited about these news, man. Good to see Shep excited about it, too. It's good times here in Detroit, man. You've been wanting a move, and I think we've all been wanting the same move. Return to what was great. It's so crazy. You don't think about offensive linemen until you think about offensive linemen. Yep. Let's take a quick commercial break, man. Get a message in from our sponsors. Pay some bills. And then when we get back, man, we'll jump into the second hour, man. And we'll get it rocking and rolling. We'll stick with football. Also, we'll mention Detroit Pistons. Shep told you, 4 losses in a row. K didn't play in one of those losses. Where's your concern level with the Detroit Pistons? Not necessarily where they'll finish, but just right now, who's going to take up and make a step for them? And then Michigan over Michigan State yesterday, 80-90. And then interesting comments that came from the press conference that was one Tom Izzo. But first, let's get a message in from Estate Title Realty.
Estate Title Agency, Nabi.
Whether you're buying a home or refinancing, the team at Estate Title Agency makes the closing process simple and convenient. And I know my guy, Nabi Sahai, very, very well. Proudly serving Michigan since 2003, Nabi is an expert team delivering first-class title and escrow services with incredible speed and accuracy. Now, he also knows a little bit something on the golf course, so I can verify that all that is true. They know you're busy, which is why they offer you evening and weekend closing by appointment. But they even can complete the transaction at your location of choice. For all your title needs, call Mr. D's Estate Title Agency. My guy, Nabi Sahai.
Hey, listen, talking sports, that's easy. Talking life, that's not so easy. But you're not alone when you're here with us at Woodward Sports, and neither is your mental health journey. Pure Psychiatry provides personalized psychiatric care designed specifically for you. Not a cookie-cutter plan. They've got 16 locations in Michigan and 2 more down in Ohio. They make getting help accessible, easy, and comfortable. If you've been thinking about taking that first step, please visit PurePsychMI.com.
Fitness now has even more best-in-class strength equipment. Join today for $1 down and save.
We're stepping it up.
We're not slowing down.
Finding new faith, new focus.
Love that new equipment smell.
So, you in?
Join the club today. Save when you join for just $1 down, $15 a month. Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasto salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. Original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original, world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them. And that's not very nice.
Why do we fight? We fight to protect the innocent, to hold the powerful accountable, to bring the oppressors to justice. Why do we fight? We fight to secure and preserve our civil liberties, to get each and every one of our clients the justice they deserve, and to make the lives of real people just like you whole again. ThenFights.com.
To any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Like a frostbite straight from the divine. Cold rush on my skin feels so fine. Muscle freeze, the ache. No side effects, no mistake. Chill sub-zero. Icy and true. Feel the chill. It's all for you. It's not magic, just science play.
Hey, y'all need to get up on this Caesar Sportsbook app, the official sportsbook of Woodward Sports, because you can place any bet up to $1,000. And if you lose, you get that bet back. All you got to do is scan the QR code, enter the code Woodward1000. And if your first bet doesn't hit, you get that deposit back up to $1,000. That's right, $1,000 back just for giving it a shot. Minimum bet, $20. Download the Caesar Sportsbook app today, the official sportsbook of Woodward Sports. Use code Woodward1000. Scan the QR code on the screen.
Cold beer and college basketball, the ultimate combination. It only gets better in March because no beer says March like Sam Adams Cherry Wheat. Woodward Sports watch parties will be back for March Madness, and Cherry Wheat is riding shotgun for the whole thing. You can get $5 shorts of Sam Adams Cherry Wheat at any Art and Jake's location across Michigan every Monday, Thursday, and Saturday. That's right, $5 beers are back. Light, refreshing, brewed with real Michigan cherries, smooth enough to sip all game, win or lose. Sam Adams Cherry Wheat, and once again, please drink responsibly.
And we're back. Welcome back. Braylon Edwards Show, almost second hour on this free agent frenzy Monday, man. A lot of moves are being made. None more important to the Detroit Lions than CADE MAYS, center from the Carolina Panthers, acquired 3 years, $25 million, guaranteed $14 million. So excited to see that move because we understand what the offensive line was. But still some moves happening. You know, Wan'Dale Robinson, who had a field day down in Ford Field, he's going to the Titans, 4 years, $78 million. Jamal Dean, defensive back, 3 years, $36 million. That's what I'm starting to pay attention to. Kool-Aid, you brought up a good point. A lot of defensive back movement in this free agency period right now. Want to see if the Lions are going to get in on some of that because there's a lot of really good DBs out there. Just want to see what some sign. Kenneth Gainwell, running back that was mentioned to come here potentially. See what that ticket was. A lot of people said it was going to be upwards of $11 million. Well, he just signed 2 years, $14 million. He would join the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That was a running back that I was kind of looking at. I liked him a lot. I thought they had the price point for that. Somebody that I'm not excited is off the board.
For that much money, man, I know he caught a lot of balls in college and he's serviceable, but I like Rashad that's about to leave Tampa Bay. Maybe bring his ass here.
I don't know if I like Rashad better at the role, which would be a number 2 running back the way the Lions were running. They want to use him out of the backfield, catching passes. He's also a bigger back. He has that utility usage, if you will. Everywhere he's gone, he's had success. He was successful in Philly. He was successful for the Steelers. He'll be successful for the Bucs as well. I mean, that much money was it 14? What is it?
7 a year.
Yeah, but you just got rid of Debo. He's making 10. Like 7 is $3 million.
Twice the back that kind of game.
This is true, but now you're looking for a different situation. Sure. You're not going to be able to get a David Montgomery level back for $10 million or 7 for that matter.
I wonder what Rashad's going to cost though. I'd take him for the same dollar amount as Gainwell all day long.
Jordan Davis was a guy that I was looking at. Not here, just in general. I keep my eyes on. He signed an extension with the Philadelphia Eagles. They made that offensive
smart move.
It's a smart move. You got to shore up that defensive interior.
He was so good for them last year.
Because they may move on from Jalen. They may move on.
That's surprising. It must be a culture thing.
I think it's a money thing. I think the way Howie Roseman is looking at it is we've been to 3, we won 2. This is an opportunity to rotate, get some pieces, and grow, if you will. Keep rotating, man. Keep cycling.
I don't think the Lions will trade for him. I hope that you guys are ready for that.
No,
they didn't draft him. They're not trading for him.
I wasn't looking for a trade. I absolutely know they have no interest in someone that races cars in Athens, Georgia. I got it.
Who do they have interest in?
Before we went to the commercial break, you asked the question. Shep answered one on. Ask that again.
Who are they interested in? Who do you want them to get? Who do I think they're going to get? I got 4 names for you. I already mentioned one, the 16-year vet, Cam Jordan, a guy that can come in and be a leader and produce.
For 16 years, it better be a 1-year deal.
Oh, of course.
Like 1-year deal to the tune of what? 10? 8 to 10?
I mean, isn't that what MD made, right? I'll pay him the same and more.
Yeah, Cam's a problem.
If he just plays, he deserves more, right?
Also, too, like with that, I'm always looking for those situations where somebody that's great at something that they do can help out somebody that's on the way. Cam Jordan for Aiden Hutchinson would be a godsend.
No doubt.
It would be a heaven sent to what he can teach him and what he can learn from.
Hassanin would probably pick up a few things too.
Hey, you're never lying about that.
So 2 more spots are safeties.
Definitely
we don't know
important.
where we're sitting with our safeties. We don't know when we're going to have them healthy. So Kevin Byard.
We know one will come back healthy. The problem is that one probably won't come back healthy until end of October.
Yes. And we don't know exactly what Kirby's long-term situation looks like. But Kevin Byard and Brian Cook, one or both. I'd be happy to bring in both these guys and really shore up our secondary. Byard.
I like Byard. Everywhere he's been, he's had success, whether it was at Tennessee, whether it was Chicago most notably, and then he was also with where did he go after that? He was Chicago. He was in
Tennessee.
Tennessee. He went somewhere. Oh, Philly.
Oh, yeah.
That's what it was,
That's
the
right.
Super Bowl year.
Yep.
He went Tennessee, he went to Philly, then he went to Chicago. So yeah,
we need some help there. So those 2 guys I like. And then Clavon Chason, who's with the Patriots right now. They're talking about, about a $9 million tag, which is pretty much same that Anzalone left for. What did he get? 8.5 a year. So to me, Clavon's 5 years younger, a little quicker. Really, took his 1-year contract last year and ran with it. That's a guy that I think would fit here well and bring some speed to that core.
Still moves being made in the NFL. Guys are making moves. Guard Zion Johnson reached agreement today. 3 years, $49.5 million, including $32.5 million guaranteed with the Cleveland Browns per his agent. Cleveland Browns, man, they make a move. They got a lot of money. Where'd they get this money from? I thought Deshaun had them hostage, if you will. But the ticket is going up, and people are making moves. People want to get better at what they're doing. Last year, the Cleveland Browns offensive line necessarily that good.
Every time you have to talk about the Browns, man, I just snicker. It's just knowing the inside of that organization from you. That's not going to work. We know it. We already know it's not going to work. He might be fine, but they're not going to win a lot of games.
Yeah, 1,000%. Kool-Aid, we got anything over there out of you, brother?
You know what, man? I'm just waiting for this team. I'm looking at the breaking
Lions'
news.
next move.
I'm not just the next move. I'm waiting for something happening in the secondary. Something has to happen. Look, the only reason why they were able to, ride, I believe, as well as they were on this offensive line is because they did have those specialists, those playmakers back there, those takeaway artists, actually. And when the secondary was at its best, it was when Carlton Davis was effectively getting interceptions at the cornerback position, and you had Kirby Joseph snagging anything else from the safety position. And we already understand what Brian Branch was doing. He was trending to be not just the best player on the Lions, but one of the best, if not the best one of those best defensive players in all of football before the injury. Now you're sitting here with money invested in Kirby Joseph, and we don't necessarily know what the future is. We don't know what the future is necessarily with Brian Branch. And so though I am excited about where the offensive line is headed, is this secondary, which has gotten by really on takeaways from specialists, where they headed now? Because we can't afford to just get into and continue to be in shootouts with teams coming down the stretch. I like last year how we were able to, or 2 years ago, how we were able to execute on third downs and fourth downs, but last year we took a big step backwards, and that put our even more pressure and stress on that defense to have to perform. And so we saw Calvin Shepard kind of in those first quarters and somewhat through the first halves look okay to some degree, and in the second half it seemed like his coverages got figured out, and they were facing more drives than they had been in the past. So I really need them to get that figured out soon. So I'm looking. If the breaking news comes, you already know I'm stopping.
I got a little.
I'll do a backflip.
Hold on, and I like the reason why. No, that's fair. That's fair. The CADE MAYS move is a very good move. It was a good opening move. Boom. We wanted to attack that center position for the Lions. Bam. They got it. CADE MAYS. Kudos to you. But we want to keep this thing going. Like, CADE MAYS is not the one piece that's going to put the Lions over the top. I think that's now what we're looking for with the moves to come or the days to come, whether it's today, tomorrow, Wednesday, when the period truly opens up, is what are going to be the moves that are made that you instantly say, okay, now we're rocking and rolling? Because CADE MAYS is a starting point. When the Baltimore Ravens get Max Crosby, what's the thought process? When the Los Angeles Rams, when they get Trent McDuffie, what's the thought process? We got to get what's the next move. Because a center position, you can't necessarily see what that center is doing in terms of for the people. They want what's the big splash, is getting the sacks, is getting the interceptions, is getting the touchdown. What are going to be the next moves as it relates to people that you can see, Jay?
As you mentioned, you can't be reactionary. You
Facts.
have to have a plan, but you do have to respond.
Yeah.
Because you know who the other guys are that you're going to be competing with to get out of the NFC. I look at this right now. I just got a text from my insider. This is an exciting name, but don't be surprised if the Lions sign James Pierre, 30-year-old corner from Pittsburgh. I'm also being told that they are talking to Cam Curl. Cam Curl, that's a move I would love to see for this secondary. The facts are the facts, guys. This team has focused on the offense.
You telling me there's a chance?
For 5 years, this team has focused on the offense. And, hey, last year when the offense was broken, when you fired your offensive coordinator, when the run game wouldn't work, when Jared Goff was running for his life, they still put up top 5 points, all right? This team needs to be able to stop Jameis Winston, okay? That's all we need, is we need to stop guys like Jameis Winston and 43-year-old Aaron Rodgers. And that isn't going to be done adding more offensive linemen. We do need one more, but we need a secondary. Cam Curl, man, Cam Curl makes you forget about your problems at safety for a little bit.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. No, and Anson, it's not necessarily reactionary. Now, I don't want the Lions to be reactionary. I don't want because the Chicago Bears make a move, they make a move. Because the Green Bay Packers get a defensive end, they get a defensive end. But I do want my team to get better to make moves as I see other teams getting better and making moves. You look at the tops in the NFC right now, the Rams, the 49ers, the Seahawks, the Bears, the Packers, the Lions are floating in there somewhere, other teams. They're making moves, whether it's the 49ers making moves. The Bucs struggled last year. They didn't make the playoffs at the end. They're trying to make moves. Seattle's making moves. The Packers are making moves. The Dallas Cowboys are making a lot of moves right now. Even if it's Rashawn Gary, they've made 4 moves in just today. So it's not about being reactionary. Teams that are already better, at least they finished the season better than the Detroit Lions, are making moves. Not reactionary. Just I want you to.
You got to respond, man.
And
like,
Curl's
build
back
this
with the
team
Rams too.
What's that?
Curl went back to the Rams.
Yeah.
Oh, they said that he is.
Yeah.
Signed today.
Like 3 years, like 30.
When did that just happen?
Oh, that was a couple days. Yeah,
he's signed.
Well, at least the agreement.
Well, no one can sign until Wednesday.
Okay.
Everything is verbal right now. So, yeah, it's verbal conversation, but, man, not until Wednesday till you sign things. But that's, for me, what it is, Kool-Aid, is making moves, to keep pace. It doesn't have to be reactionary, but you got to keep pace. You can't not make the playoffs, but then not make moves.
Similar to, like, what we saw some of the teams do at the trade deadlines over the last few years. Teams that were or even during the offseason to go and try and shore things up. And the year that the Eagles won the Super Bowl, we saw them do that. It seemed to be that was their track. make sure that we have everything solid, health-wise as well as talent-wise, and they made sure that in the trenches there was not going to be many teams that can mess with them, whether that's offensively or defensively. And when they got to that Super Bowl against the Chiefs, they were able to wreak havoc both ways. That's where I thought that the Lions were trending towards, especially when we had the offensive line that was considered to be the toughest. And then the defensive line, I know we've been yelling and screaming for edges, but trust me, I for real talk, in a real world, Aleem McNeil, Aiden Hutchinson, and whatever you sprinkle in there, that's supposed to be tough. These guys are supposed to be $20 million men, and they got paid like it too. And so for me personally, man, I don't know, man. I'm excited, like I said, for where things are headed, but I really need this squad to get it together in a second. I almost think that this is, now that they have this in the bank in terms of CADE MAYS, this almost becomes the ultimate priority.
Yeah, I think it's one of those situations where you're looking at both sides of the ball. Where are we going to spend the money? Are we going to spend the money at center, or are we going to spend the money at the edge rushing position? I think they get a really good deal in CADE MAYS at the center position, so I think now you spend more money on who's going to be opposite of Aiden Hutchinson.
Yeah, and I was going to say as well, like, you look at those trade deadlines, we continued to say as fans what needed to happen, and even during the offseason, even with Davenport. So when those things fall through, that's where I do believe fans who sit back and say, hey, we need to do a little bit more, or why are you guys bumping your gums? Because I see some of those people here in the chat. I don't think anybody here is saying that we're done and we're good to go. I think that this is a very good first step. But at the trade deadlines, we didn't see them move appropriately where we saw other teams move appropriately. And that's where I think it's not necessarily doing something because other people are doing something, but making sure that if those squads are getting better, that when you game plan, can we check this? Can we cover this? Can we play defense against it? Can we play offense against this? Can we move? Some of these teams like the Rams, they just did a whole lot to their secondary. That's going to be a completely different secondary in terms of the firepower they're able to run out there against the Lions next year. So if we're not doing things adequately to make sure we can go out there and compete, we're going to find ourselves looking up. I mean, there are some people out there who are looking at what the Dallas Cowboys are doing and saying, you know what? They at least are going out there and trying to do something to improve their team. The Niners, a team that if you would have asked a lot of Lions fans a year or two ago, they would have said, no, we think they were moving past the Niners now. Well, not so fast, my friends. And so that's where it's like I do want to see the Lions take the steps necessary to improve this squad, not necessarily just keep up the Joneses, but the more of these top-rated cornerbacks and defensive backs are flying off the shelves, I think the worse for the Lions right now.
Yeah, I mean, the best thing about it, just look at the Los Angeles Rams. They legitimately sucked at the DB position last season. They were good. They were decent at safety. They were not good at the DB position. It cost them some games. It cost them games. It cost them wide receivers getting open, being able to manipulate.
Cost them a trip to the Super Bowl.
And that's where I was getting to. It cost them ultimately the Super Bowl. What did they do? They said, nah. 1, 2, 3. They're moving. They're making sure that that's not going to be a problem. They're making sure that that doesn't come up this coming season. So kudos. They are knocking it out of the park in that regard. But offensive line, that's where we got to go. That's where we went. It's only the start. That's what we said. It was a great opening bell. But now we want to see what they do to follow suit with that move. Excited, man. Excited.
Spencer just sent out, Keaton Mitchell will not be tendered from the Baltimore Ravens. And he's like, lightning? We need a thumper.
Yeah. Keaton Mitchell, running back for the Baltimore Ravens, saw a lot of action last year. He's a guy that short yards and go. Also, he gets out on that edge. He can take off.
He's got some spurs.
Make some people miss, too. They got that. They figured it out. They'll have that figured out. How about we do this? Let's take a break.
I was going to say, Catesville Country Boy in the chat has been going because he doesn't believe that this is the CADE MAYS signing is one that deserves as much guff as it's gotten. He says throughout his career, he hasn't necessarily been the every game starter, and he believes that we got somebody who is just kind of a plug and play. It's like, what do you say to people like that? Because CADE MAYS is a name I've heard from Shep on the show for some time. With like, you know, he was sure of it. There was nobody else he wanted. Broder, we were just on First to the Whistle Sunday, and he was like, look, CADE MAYS is that deal. He is the guy that you want here. So those are two ball knowers, but I still see some people out there who believe that this is just kind of a meh deal.
Has Caseville ever been excited about anything they've ever done? I mean, I love you, buddy, but consider the source.
There's that. Now, I mean,
he's always upset.
There are some others in the chat who do believe that. There are some others in this chat who believe that this deal is one that's just kind of like, okay, so then what's next? Because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things to do.
What was the most important, though, Kool-Aid?
The home run.
What was our most important? center. We all agreed on that. You went out and you got a top 3 center. The first one, way overpaid to go protect a number 1 pick quarterback that's about to be drafted, right?
Yep.
The number 2, they re-signed him. So realistically, like, the best attainable center on the market is here. How do you get mad at that?
Can't at all. And I think that there's some people out there, though, who they don't want you to celebrate it. You know, we celebrated some moves in the past, and I think that that's appropriate. But this is a move to me that I was wondering, is Brad Holmes going to be like that? Because at the deadline for the Tigers, Shep rolled out a plan that I was like, you know what, at first I didn't see it, but then I kept thinking like, Dag, you're right, Shep. I don't even know who our number 2 pitcher is for the playoffs. And then you know what? That kind of caught up to us. And when Shep said, look, we have to make a move, we were number 1 by a long shot with 6 All-Stars going in. And we didn't do what we needed to do. So it's like now, you know, you sit here and I'm hoping that they come through with a lot more than this. But I can understand where the fans in the chat, who they might not be as excited as us, why they're seeking for more.
Last week, the week before that, and the week before that, I got you guys all riled up talking about Brad Holmes and needing to make moves and where's your confidence meter at. Maybe I guys got to you because now on the show today, I'm now the voice of reason trying to calm you guys down. Look, check this out. Did you want Tyler Linderbaum? Are you trying to be on the hook for $60 million? Is that what you wanted? Tyler Linderbaum for $60 million, his ass better play defensive end too. For $60 million guaranteed, his ass better catch passes. He better run the ball. He better be like Refrigerator Perry on the goal line, too. I can handle the ball off and he'll score touchdowns. That's not what you're into. So the next move is Connor McGovern. Connor McGovern, you know what he chose to do? He chose to go back where he was already, where he was confident, where he enjoys snapping and blocking the ball to Josh Allen. That's where he's at. Abashe chose to go to the Chargers, chose to sign with Jim Harbaugh and what they're building out there. You got CADE MAYS, the guy that was the 4th center in that deal in terms of who are the centers that you would get. We've talked about him. You see what Bryce Young and that offensive line was last year. A lot better through the middle. You can't take your eyes off the ball in that situation. Hear me out on this. What would you have liked him to do if it wasn't one of those guys? Like, what's the next move? Because getting 4 when you weren't going to get 2 of the 3, that's good to me. Because now what happens is, what if they chose not to go this route? What if Brad Holmes chose to say, you know what? Hey, Hank, can you get Tate ready for the season at the center position? Can you make him your center? Because then if we get him a center, then we don't have to go get Tyler Linderbaum or one of those guys. So let's move Tate, who spent the last season really fine-tuning his right guard play. Let's move him to center. Now you know what you're going to do? You're not going to be able to get that right guard in the draft, so you know what you got to do? You got to spend a little cheese. Last time I checked, right guards, they cost more than centers. So now you got to go find the right guard because you've moved Tate to center. Now he has to learn the center position. He has to see if this is even something that's in his wheelhouse. And then, oh, by the way, you still have lifeguard. Is that what you want to do? Is that what the possibility? So
no.
I like the idea of having a center's center. This guy is locked and loaded into the position. Now it gives you some wiggle room. Now you can make the move to move Panay over to the left. Now you can keep Tate Ralledge at the right guard position. And now you have Christian Mahogany, who already has in-game experience, even in the playoffs. So I like this move better than the alternative. So, you know, I can play both sides. This one, I'm comfortable with. But I do agree, it's not the only one. Like, it better not be the only move. This is not the move, the end-all, be-all, because like I said, you have to get better. The other teams in your division, the other teams in your conference, they're getting better. They're making moves. They're adding players that are going to make them a better version of what they were last year.
And that's why I was glad that even Shep said, even though this is what he's been calling for, he even said on the call today, look, I know there's not a lot of people out there who's going to call this a home run, though. And I believe that more so than what it means about the player in itself, I think what it means about what the Lions actually have to do. Because what good is it, you know, you hit a home run and you're down 10. All right, now we down 10-1.
Kool-Aid, we don't hit home runs in Detroit anyway. It's all about singles. Get them across home, baby.
But right now, when you look at the cap situation, you're going to need some restructuring. I think that's what you need right now. We need contact hitting out of Brad Holmes, and that's where I get excited about this. If we looked at those Tigers and realized we got a bunch of contact hitters, we would be pretty happy. And with so much that Brad Holmes has to do, getting this deal right now, honestly, I don't know if my faith had waned just a little bit. I thought that this was going to be a draft type of a situation. I really did. I thought that he was going to go and say, well, we don't have that much money. The secondary is obliterated. We're losing Alex Anzalone, who's been a captain in the past on this team. I thought that he was going to do something different here. So to see this deal, it makes me confident. And then Braylon said something earlier in the show that made me that much more excited when he says, look, when you look at the players that left, this tips me off to the fact that they might be still playing ball in free agency for that secondary. And that's where it makes me smile a little bit, because if you're telling me, all right, you're picking up a couple nice players in free agency, and then in the draft you're going to go and try and pick up another couple players, well, that reminds me of Carlton Davis and Zeitler's offseason. And we saw how much that did for this team then. And I think that if they can get that, it will do just as well for this Lions team, who I'm not burying them. I don't think that people should be out on who this Lions team is, even though they took a step back last year. But it does depend on what Brad does moving forward here.
Yeah, realistically, man, you don't have to hit all home runs to win a game. Like, you don't have to hit all home runs to win a game. Like, how you get to the final score that is more than the opponent, that's how you win that game. So, realistically, no one said this was a home run. This was a no-brainer, but this is a double. This is a stand-up double. Now what happens? What's the defensive move at the defensive end position? Do you bring in a guy like Owe? Do you bring in a guy like, like Boye Mafe? Because now if you do that, well, that's another double. That might be a triple. Now you got two guys that have come home. So it's about what the moves are in totality. Because I 1,000% agree with you. This is not an equal move to Max Crosby. This is not an equal move to trading for Trent McDuffie if you're the Los Angeles Rams. But what this is just a necessity, and it's a damn good piece for a team that needed this. We've been talking about the center position since we found out Ragnar retired. Now you don't have to worry about switching the guy. Now you don't have to worry about paying a guy way too much money. Because if you would have got Tyler Linderbaum, you know what we would have came on this show today and said? Because now it's underwhelming. I mean, he wasn't even a center like that. If we would have got Tyler Linderbaum, man, I don't. Why they pay him $80 million? Why did they go get him? Now we can't go get this guy. Now we can't go get that. Man, they just gave it to a center. He doesn't even care. This is the conversation you would have had. So be a little half full today. Don't be half empty. This is a very good move, and there are more moves to come.
Just the start.
100%. More moves to come.
No doubt about it. A couple other names I want to throw out there real quick. Nashawn Wright, Kobe Durant, and Rick Woolen. Three guys that might be in our future.
As in?
Just, I think that.
As in Seattle, Rick Woolen? Yeah, that's tough. Like, I love him, but I don't think they'll pull a move like that. Because then you still got a guy that you're just about to pay, which is why we couldn't make certain moves. And then you got DJ Reed you paid last year, but I wanted him out of.
These are some names being funneled to me. Yeah. Sounds like the Lions were trying to get Cam Curl, though. Very, very seriously. That, which would have been an amazing, amazing addition. Him staying in that secondary after they add some help, man, it's Rams are going to be scary again.
Speaking of scary, how good are the Michigan Wolverines? Let's take a quick detour. Let's jump into the game that was last night, Michigan versus Michigan State Spartans, and then comments that happened after the game. See on what side of the fence you are. But let's get a message in from Dr. Pierce. He is the expert sports doc, injury insider, when we have him on the show on Thursdays, and then he's also on Big D Energy on Tuesdays. Trust the guy we trust, and trust the guy we know, and that's Dr. Pierce. 248-426-9944, or scan that QR code. Doesn't matter if you're trying to get diagnosed for anything, he is the right guy to diagnose you, because he can make sure you know what the rehab is, what the process is, or what the injury even is. And then also, too, you catch him on the show, you know he can tell you about getting your favorite players back to playing, like Kirby Joseph, like Brian Branch. What are they looking like? Well, you got to find out on Thursdays. We'll see him then.
Detroit trusts Dr. Jeff Pierce, and we also trust Buddy's Pizza to handle the unofficial holiday that we know and love, known as opening day. Woodward Sports will be down there. We'll be kicking things off with live broadcasts all morning at the Grand Slam Opening Day Festival. Come hang out with the guys from Woodward and the gals, talk baseball, and get fired up for the game. And then once that first pitch hits, head on over to Buddy's Pizza in downtown Detroit and join our live watch party. You can come get a piece of the best pizza in town, grab a cold drink, and watch the Tigers kick ass in this season opener with us at Woodward Sports. Friday, April 3rd, Detroit baseball is back. Come and celebrate with us.
Join today for $1 down and save.
We're stepping it up.
We're not slowing down.
Finding new faith, new focus.
Love that new equipment smell.
So, you in?
Join the club today. Save when you join for just $1 down, $15 a month. Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasto salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. Original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original, world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them. And that's not very nice.
Why do we fight? We fight to protect the innocent, to hold the powerful accountable, to bring the oppressors to justice. Why do we fight? We fight to secure and preserve our civil liberties, to get each and every one of our clients the justice they deserve, and to make the lives of real people just like you whole again. ThenFights.com.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Like a frostbite straight from the divine. Cold rush on my skin feels so fine. Muscle freeze, the ache. No side effects, no mistake. Chill sub-zero, icy and true. Feel the chill. It's all for you. It's not magic, just science play.
Looking for plans that sizzle? How about hitting the home of the steak on the stone, which is Black Rock Bar and Grill? And whenever you go there, man, you're gonna have a top rock experience because the service is great, the people treat you amazing, but also the food stays fresh. Tasty Tuesday special, $13.99. Feast on half a pound of ribs, coconut shrimp, and you get a little fry action with that too. On Thursdays, you get the 6-ounce sirloin, shrimp scampi, and your choice of soup or salad and a side for $19.99. I go back to what I said in the beginning. It's a top rock experience where they give you the greatest service in the business.
Fellas, we like simple stuff like boiling sweet potatoes.
Like CADE MAYS, it's
like wearing green to the Braylon show or breaking down piston soups. We like uncomplicated. So, there's nothing more uncomplicated than getting your hair cut at Lady Jane's. You can walk in, sign in. Before you know it, you are handsome and clean and ready for the streets. Lady Jane's, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Oh, and it is wicked awesome.
We back.
Welcome back on a hell of a Monday around the NFL, where the news just keeps coming down that pipeline. We talked a little bit about Michigan. Look, we're going to keep pushing that down the track. Nobody cares about that.
They want football.
It's about the NFL, as they should. That's why I chose to play football, because football is king. 1,000%. But it's the best sport, man.
That's how
you tell me what's the most popular, what's the best sport. I think it's always
most popular and best don't have to be the same, right, Kool-Aid?
But they happen to be, though.
I don't know about
Ain't
that.
nobody watching the finals in June. Ain't nobody watching the finals.
Not with the babies in
Get
there.
out of here.
Not with the baby in
Nobody's
there.
watching the finals.
I feel attacked, but I'm like, he's right.
Hey,
he's right.
Nobody's watching
Kool-Aid,
the finals.
we need 38 more likes. Where's Michael Wary, the like
Let's
police?
get those
Smash
likes.
that like button. We need to get to 400, guys.
400.
And beyond.
400. We're having a conversation about, obviously, with the Detroit Lions picking up CADE MAYS at the center now. Conversation is, what are the next moves coming down that pipeline? I mentioned that I would want to go edge. Kool-Aid, tell me what the people say, what they're interested in, because I got a thought or two.
It's interesting. Hey, what should the Lions target next in free agency? 48% of the people say edge. 27% of the people say secondary. But check this out. 16%, they still want a tackle or a guard. They still want this offensive line to go to the next level. 10% of the people say, let's focus on linebacker. I think they're comfortable with what Jack Campbell's going to do with whoever he's going to lead. Interesting poll. 48% for the edge, leading the way.
Yeah, I like that poll. I definitely like people still wanting them to go after tackle guard in this free agency. I'm cool with that 100%. Christian Mahogany, We'll see what that happens. That side could potentially get better, in my opinion, and in the right tackle. If you can shore up and get a guy that's out here, a guy that's already experienced, you don't have to get that tackle in the draft. Now it gives you some wiggle room on how you can be sneaky and how you can be creative, how you can package that up for more, or how you can draft at that position. For me, it's edge. Realistically, we want our defense to be better. We want your defense to be a better version of yourself. With everything needed in the defense right now, you can't become a great defense in one season. It's not going to be one-off season that's going to turn this Detroit Lions into a great team, great defense. What you can do is you can put another edge on the opposite end of Aiden Hudson, and you can corral these guys. You believe Lee McNeil is going to be back to what he was 2 years ago. That ACL is back. The ACL is cool. It looks like I'm about to get a ticket, but it's neither here nor there. You want to get a guy on the opposite end that can get to those quarterbacks and legitimately make them panic. When you look at the teams that were there at the end of the season last year, when it was the AFC, it was the NFC, all those teams, whether it's the Broncos, whether it's the Patriots, whether it's the Seattle Seahawks, whether it's the Rams, they can rush the hell out of the passer from both freaking sides. So that's a major thing for the Detroit Lions. So if you get an edge rusher, it makes you better at the defensive back position because you got less time. Quarterbacks won't have that much time to carve you up if you got guys coming off both sides. A really good pass rusher, opposite of Aiden, it makes your defense better by design. Because realistically, now those DBs, Terrion Arnold, as well as DJ Reed, they won't have to hold up as long.
Speaking of time, you might have enough time to run and move your car.
Okay, she's got a.
Are you over here or there?
I'm right there,
okay.
right inside of you.
You think you can be all right?
Is she writing tickets?
She's going over to that one. If you want to go and move it, I'll handle it.
All right, bet.
All right, so
that's right.
So my point of view,
4-2 speed out of here.
And listen, we had AQM. These two guys, between him and Hutch, were both top 15 sack guys number-wise last year. All right, we didn't get a lot of pressure. We had some games where we did. For me, though, the lack of protection or not of coverage in that secondary that just became more and more glaring because of the loss of both of our safeties. And the fact is without Carlton Davis there, we were undermanned at the corner position. Amik, too small. DJ Reed, too small. DJ Reed, not healthy, And then you look at Terrion Arnold, who's supposed to be the number one on this team. That's what they had hoped he would develop into this year. Obviously, that didn't happen, and now you've got even bigger problems. Listen, we don't know, Kool-Aid. Terrion Arnold may never play in the NFL again. Yeah. I hope that I'm completely wrong. I hope I'm looking too much into it. I hope that he's completely innocent. But whether it's true or not, whether it's a smokescreen, that held up the Max Crosby deal. Now, we lose Amik. We know DJ Reed's not a number one. We know Terrion's not a number one, and we know we may not even have him. And our Pro Bowl all-NFL safeties, we got no answers for that. Yes, another edge helps them have to protect and cover for a little bit less time. But they're so broken right now. Like, we don't even have a number two corner on this team, in my opinion, and we don't have a number one safety or even a two safety. So until that secondary gets healthy, they need some serious help, Kool-Aid.
They need some serious. I'm sorry, but I was cracking up because Braylon's truck was slowly driving away from behind you. So he made it.
He made it.
He made it in time.
He was totally going to take it. I was like, I got you, bro.
Let's go.
Even though I hate your corn and blue squad today, and I kind of want you to get a ticket. No, I don't want my boy to get a ticket. But he did move. Bray will be back here shortly.
He'll be back. But look, man, you're preaching over there. And I'm looking at the chat right now, and I like some of the – shout out to Bray walking by. He made it.
Coming back.
But a lot of the people where is it at? I just saw a really, really good one in here. Here it is. From Scrumps Dominicus in the chat. What a name. He says, LOL, I'm picking edge. Just spearing Jordan Love. I wouldn't hate that at all. I wouldn't hate that at all. And you talk about now that you got the trenches, at least on the offensive side, moving in the right direction. I was all gung-ho about secondary, and we still need to do something there. Because over the last, 30 minutes since we've even started talking about this stuff, there's been a run on the secondary players now. It seems like that's the market that's
just
going
in this
right now.
last hour.
Just in the last hour. No, there were like another 2 or 3 that's gotten snagged up just in literally since we've started this conversation. And so, it's going to be interesting to see which way they choose to attack this, if it's going to be in free agency. It's looking like it's going to probably be through the draft, since I know the secondary position is very deep in this year's draft. But the edge position is going to help whoever they select. Since it looks like it's going to line up that way, I am for what Bray is talking about, going out there and getting that pass rush, who can go out there and help. I don't think that there's this star pass rusher that we're getting, but somebody who can come in, complement Aiden Hutchinson, and maybe bring just a little bit more to be a versatile edge rusher, somebody who can stay on the field for more of those snaps, whether it's run or pass called. That's what I'm looking for the Lions if they're talking about going in that edge position.
I can't stand meter maids.
Shout out to Bray.
She's the worst too. This one
4.2 speed.
You know what? Like real talk. Now I understand what KG said about her. Like she might need to.
She is a miserable human being, dude.
I would just put it this way: she needs some human connection.
Oh yeah,
Bray, hold on.
That would be a nice way to say it.
She needs to know sake in her life.
She's legitimate. You're hilarious. She's legitimately giving a ticket to a Mercedes Classic. I'm talking about
68 SL
I was
too,
just
bro.
about to say 68. I forgot it was SL. 68 SL.
I was looking at it
I
too.
walk outside and I say, man, that's a beautiful car. She proceeds to say, this is such a nice car. Why the hell you giving him the ticket then?
Because he can afford it. That car in Birmingham, he can afford
that
it.
car get a pass. Like you're that beautiful on a day like this. You know what? I don't even see you. Ray Charles. Like I don't even see you. But I was able to move my car from one spot to a little bit down. Because it says 2 hours free parking. It doesn't say that you can, I'm in a different spot.
As long as it's in a different spot.
Exactly. That's what I thought. But yeah, getting back to it, just
well, real quick, Kevin Jarvis, he sent this in. I think it's imperative. He said $10 super chat. I'm paying for Bray's future ticket.
Oh,
so there you go, Bray.
I appreciate that.
Not this one, the future one.
Yeah,
I appreciate it. You know what? Now I have $10 to use, but definitely, man, getting an edge rusher for me will be great because it will help the defense out tremendously. Like I said, it limits the time that a quarterback has to pass on the Detroit Lions. I heard what you said that I was coming back in. It's not the DB, which is the primary target for right now. It'd be safety if you talk about the secondary position. Secondary position, what you don't know about your safety guys coming back this season, whether it's going to be Brian Branch, whether it's going to be Kirby Joseph, what does the situation require? You know you need a safety forever. How long, you don't know. Got to get that safety. That's more important to me than the DB. Because I think Terry Arnold, we'll play this game again. We'll see what that looks like. DJ Reed.
You mean specifically free agency?
Yes.
There's not a whole lot left, man.
They're flying off.
AJ
Epinesa. In the draft.
In the draft?
In the draft. That's what I was walking in on. You talking about
AJ Epinesa, Cam Jordan, and then it gets down to the MD and AQM. That's basically your tier, your top tier right now with Jaden Phillips signing.
For defensive, well, you still have Joseph Osai and
Bosa's out there still, right?
Bosa's still out there. Draymond Jones, he just signed. He's done.
Not a lot of guys left, man. It might be something you have to do with the draft.
Yeah.
Or find yourself a specialist like you did in AQM last year.
Patrick Ofiara asks, he wonders who Jack Campbell will want first, a defensive end or somebody back there in that secondary, which is interesting because I know exactly the relationship that the defensive ends at the edge and the defensive line plays for the secondary, but with Jack Campbell, who's going to be stepping into an even bigger role without Anzalone and his voice behind him. This is now Jack Campbell's. He is the clear-cut leader. There's no former leader or no former passer. It's just his. I do wonder from that perspective which one helps him a little bit more too.
And behind him be safety.
Yeah.
Behind him be safety, but also he needs somebody on the side of him as well. You lose Alex Anzalone, you do have to replace it. I know they have Derek Barnes. We'll see how that plays out, but they definitely need another linebacker as well. I think he will go safety.
Safety.
Because when you have somebody behind you that you trust, that has my back, can ball hawk, can keep me abreast of things I don't have to necessarily turn my head, if you will, like that allows you to play a little differently. That allows you to play more aggressive. That allows you to play more, Jack Campbell, like, if you will, towards what you saw last year.
If the edges do their job, Jack Campbell doesn't have to do anything. If it gets to the second level, he has to have that safety valve behind him. So to me, a linebacker, hey, if anything gets behind me, I got to have somebody I trust that's going to keep it out the house.
For Jack Campbell, that linebacker position, you want those defensive interior guys to do their job.
Oh yeah.
If the D tackles do their job,
those holes, baby.
Then it opens the job up for Jack Campbell. It makes it even easier to do. So, still moves being made, man.
Dang, now you got me wondering about that position next to
all right, here's a question. Now we're, what is this, 3, almost 4 o'clock. We're 4 hours into free agency. What did you think would happen as of now for the Detroit Lions?
I thought for sure that the number one thing that they would get would be a center. I've been going back and forth with my buddy, hoping to be McGovern, but it seemed like he was going to stay. MAYS is a great consolation prize. I don't even want to call it that, really.
Did you think it would be more, though? Did you
honestly, like, I think that there was such an onus on the offensive line for the facts that you astutely pointed out. If you ask Tate Ratledge now to switch positions in his second year, he's learning something completely new. And that's your signal caller right there, handing the ball directly to your quarterback. Now you got to fill his spot. You're already hoping that Mahogany's going to be the guy. And now you're still talking about moving Panay. So now you've got a whole line full of guys that are in there the first time they're playing that position in a couple of years, maybe multiple years. So I think that getting back to the consistent line play from the offensive line that we've seen in years past was first and foremost for them. You see them giving up all these picks to get wide receivers. You see them going and moving around to draft a tight end high. These guys focus on the offense, and without that offensive line being right, you can't do that. So this is what I expected to see. I don't think they're done today. I think we got a long day ahead of us, and I think we'll see another name come
You don't
out.
think the Lions are done?
No, I think we're going to see a secondary guy get snapped up today at least, and maybe even that linebacker that we need.
Going into today, I thought that we would have a center, a tackle, and a linebacker. Like, that's what I was expecting that's what I am expecting to see today. They got the center. That was the first move with with MAYS. Cade Otten also did go on the move, tight end out of Tampa Bay. But I thought it'd be center, tackle, and linebacker position. 100%. I'm still waiting to see what that looks like.
Still waiting to see. Yeah. And that's the thing. I thought that we maybe would hear something. We don't hear anything about right now, like out there in the speculation world in terms of what the Lions are going to do. So, something interesting. Like I said, the move of Amik Robertson leaving, which was one that a lot of people thought was going to happen anyway. I just wonder what the exact plan is there ultimately. But I'm hoping that it works out the way that you're saying, bro. I really, really, really do, man. Because you're seeing some of these other teams go out there and they're stacking up moves. And not just stacking up moves and making moves and making moves. These are like big names. Sometimes one or two big names going to the same team. In the NFC. You look at what the Rams are doing right now. It looks like they're serious about trying to win a Super Bowl next year, not just be a Super Bowl contender, not just be a team that can be talked about as, what can they do next year? There's a lot of people going to just look at that team and say, that's already one of the Super Bowl contenders. No conjecture needed. And it is based off those moves. Now, the other component of this is how you put those moves together. And I don't want to forget the Dan Campbell aspect of it all. If these people, they've seen what happened last year, I'm hoping that going into this season, everything is going to be better. They got their offensive coordinator. They brought in another high-level offensive coach to be in here as well. So I do believe from a coaching perspective, they're going to get more figured out and more out of what they could have gotten last year in this season ahead. And so I don't think that they necessarily have to go and rattle off big move after big move after big move, because they got still a lot of dogs here, but they do got to make sure they properly kind of build around them.
Where were we in terms of moves made by teams in the division, in terms of comparing ourselves to moves in the division? I'm just looking at Green Bay. How do we think teams are faring right now in the free agent situation? Just looking at the Green Bay Packers. They get rid of Rashawn Gary. They send him to the Cowboys for a late first-round pick. That's next season, though, not this season. It was a cap dump, if you will. They also return. They got Zaire. They got rid of Quay Walker. They bring in Zaire Franklin.
It's a name I wanted right there.
Another one gone?
Another safety. Brian Cook is headed to the Cincinnati Bengals, 3 years, $42.5 million. Cheese spent.
That's some money right there, 14.
He's heading to Cincinnati. Cincinnati not known for spending money on the defensive side.
They like doing dumb stuff.
If you're a Cincinnati Bengals fan, is that a sign in the right direction?
It's in the right direction, but it's too much, in my opinion.
Hell
It probably took that to get him to Cincy.
Outside of the Lions, but has this become like the theme of today? Like, everybody broke the bank. Like, there's a lot of individuals that broke the bank today.
Lions didn't.
I said with the exception
I know.
of the Detroit Lions. Yeah, and then also Corey Wooden goes to the Colts. That's how they got Zaire Franklin, so that's why they were able to get Quay Walker up out of there. Not necessarily crazy moves, but they've got money off the books.
I want to throw some names out here. You're talking about a tackle. How do you feel about Braden Smith? Guy that could come in and start right away.
He's named after me. So,
wait, hold on. Well, Lions did something else. You said that they were going to go offensive line next again?
Yeah, that's what I would hope, yeah.
Illuminor, Lowe, Borum, Walker.
Via Tom Pelissero, more O-line help for the Lions. They've agreed to terms with the veteran Larry Borom. Yeah.
Okay.
Just said it.
Yeah.
Stat.
Got one right today.
You said tackle in particular, right?
Larry Ball from.
So our
Larry
tackle
Borom.
people in the chat, they get that first. We talk about what did they want to see happen. 16% of the people wanted them to bring in another tackle or guard, preferably a tackle, and the Lions do that.
So, give me some stats on where's he coming from. Like, I just gave you a name. Like, there's some other stuff in there. Where's he coming from? How many years?
Fifth round,
Thank you.
2021 draft pick by the Chicago Bears. 6'5", 330 pounds. He is
Probably
from
insurance.
Detroit.
Okay.
Probably insurance.
He is from Detroit. He played with the Bears 21 to 24. He was with the Dolphins last year. He ended up starting 11 games at right tackle.
Okay, fact. So we have a guy that's played with the Bears for a couple of years.
He's probably more of a swing guy that can play multiple positions for you. I don't necessarily think he was signed to start.
Yeah.
But this puts you in a position where if you do take a right tackle in maybe the second round, you can bring him up behind this guy. Maybe he takes over halfway through the season or after the year.
Yeah, they share and they really just in the competition. They push and drive each other, and you see which one comes out ahead when you get through training camp.
So we're just waiting on your linebacker now, bud.
I'm telling you, they got a center and they got a tackle.
And I kind of like this. When I know there's some people out there who
no, it's everybody.
Yeah, they're like we wanted
everybody.
something a little bit bigger. But when you look at all the voices that are leaving that locker room next year, I do believe that there's something to that. And you're able to get a veteran, somebody who's been in this league, might not play the biggest role for you next year, but somebody who I believe can come in from a trench standpoint at a position where you're trying to be the strongest. I'm not mad at
Strengths, versatility. He played both tackle and guard, powerful
there you go,
run blocker,
that Brad
and
Holmes.
had 38 career starts, which is a lot for a later pick. Weaknesses, pass pro can be inconsistent.
Yes, welcome back home.
Average overall performance, just kind of middle of the round or middle of the league in terms of tackles, and just really more of a depth player. But again, this is a guy that can back up multiple positions and at least maybe for the first month start for Decker if that's what you need.
Yeah, try to find depth at that position.
Yeah.
So, kudos, but we'll still wait and see the moves coming down the line. I know everybody wants those. That move.
Yeah. I was going to say, I see my guy Everything King in the chat. Shout out Everything King, one of the legendary content creators out here. He put this on all caps, so it got me a little bit more excited.
Okay.
He said, we just signed Larry Borom. So he's kind of excited about it, man. Everything King, put some stuff in the chat, man, if you got something to say about him, for real.
Always good to bring Detroit cats to the crib, bring them back home. So it's going to be a lot of fun when that happens.
Brother Rice, they said.
Definitely, we're right on the corner. You can walk to Brother Rice from here. It'll be a long walk, though. But, yeah, depth piece, 1,000%, but also push whatever they do in the draft. So excited about that.
I'm excited, man. I'm actually.
Are we excited or we just like, okay?
It's good to see them working. You know what I mean? Like whenever I'm getting back in shape and I'm starting that process, it's like you don't see all the cuts and all of it day one, but you feel good because you know you've been working. This is one of those things. I think none of us wanted to see Brad Holmes and the Lions strike out at all on the first day. And I think to go out there and get one of the names that we've heard, hey, look, if we're going to get offensive line, obviously Linderbaum is the big name, but all of us kind of knew that's probably a little far-fetched. To go and get CADE MAYS, like that to me is one where it's like, okay, we're about business. We recognize that we're not actually that good. And when you go and you lose a Frank Ragnow, a Taylor Decker, a Graham Glasgow, and some of these big names that carry big voices, I think that it's okay to go out there and get a guy who knows here, is from here, has played in this league, has found ways to even start this late in his career. So that's why I'm like, you know what? Okay, cool. I feel like we're getting some momentum here. And that makes me more confident that by the end of the season, we're going to be looking a little bit more cut and we're going to be seeing some gains. We're looking like Bray up there.
Shout out to Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential. No, but the best thing about it is we've been seeing them save money. We see them do the right deal. We see them cut costs to make sure, hey, look, this is what we need, but this is what we're willing to spend, et cetera, et cetera. I just want to know at what point, what are we saving the money for? Like at some point, we saved a lot of money. You got the money that's gone up this year. It's gone up to $301 million. There's more in your kitty to spend, if you will. Just waiting to see if there's ever be a moment to pull the trigger on something. That catches you off guard.
This still just comes back down to me being a fly on the wall, which I wasn't during that initial meetings with Chris Spielman and Sheila and all of them. And they want a long-lasting winner. And that doesn't necessarily mean a long-lasting multiple Super Bowl champion. They want Lions football to be relevant, not just in Detroit, because it always has been, even when they're 0-16, but to be relevant nationally, to be in the conversation for the NFC North every single damn year. We aren't made like the Eagles yet, like the Patriots yet, like the Chiefs yet. Teams that have become comfortable and experienced in making big moves year after year after year, but still having the shine on the franchise to be able to restock every offseason. Because guess what? I want to go play for the Chiefs. I want to go play for the Pats. I want to go win a championship in Philly. We got close. I mean, already I'm listening this morning. They're like, oh, our window's over. And, we're 9-8. And, we were going to be America's team. We still can be. But by going all in and making the wrong move, which can happen.
But spending money doesn't have to be all in. Like, teams spend money all the time and recover from that spending money within a year or two. So I'm not saying spend all your bread and now you're handicapped, but I'm saying you have a lot of money to make. There are some moves you can make that are outside your norm in terms of spending point, in terms of age of a player, in terms of we didn't draft this guy, more so along those lines.
Yeah, it just to me that they're going to continue to do the things that got them to relevance, which we haven't had the majority of our life. We maybe 1 year and then they're gone, then 1 year again. If they finish out the rest of this decade as a 9-win or better team, maybe miss the playoffs one more time, but make it 3 or 4 more times.
What?
I know you hate that.
Oh, no.
I know you hate that. But look, we were talking about the what was it? The Ravens have been in the playoffs 15 of their 21 years of existence.
Right.
If I told you when they brought Dan and Brad in that the Lions would make the playoffs 15 of the next 21 years, you'd take it, right, Kool-Aid? I know the owners of this franchise would.
The problem with that conversation is you're expecting that Jared Goff is going to be this healthy quarterback for the next. How long did you?
No, I'm not saying that.
But I'm saying like right now you have a team that is conducive because of the players, because of the skill set. You got a team that can challenge. You got a team that can challenge now. You saw that 2 years ago. You saw that 3 years ago. Like by operating in, we can just do it this way and we'll save money and the window will last forever and we can go until 2040. Yeah. Maybe not though. Like,
I love that you brought up his name because Jared Goff in 2 years may not.
What does Jahmyr Gibbs look like in 3 years? What is Jared Goff? Is he even here in 2 years?
But what I'm saying is in 2 years, maybe you're ready to move away from Jared Goff, and all these young people who have only known Stafford and Goff and think that we need to get rid of Goff right now. You start to realize how difficult it is to get a quarterback, not a franchise quarterback.
And that's what I'm saying.
And so now that money in 2 years, you might need it for that. You might have to go and get yourself a Malik Willis. And I'm not, hopefully it's better than that. But look what he was paid. You either have to draft one or you got to pay through the teeth for one. That's how it works.
If the Lions have Jared Goff in this pace of elite stats, if you will, that he's been on, and they have all this in this 3-year pocket, this 4-year pocket, and they do nothing with it, and then we're legitimately in 3 years talking about who's the Sam Darnold that we can go find, then they wasted opportunity. Like they won't be revisiting this conversation. It was like, you know what? Maybe they should have took a big swing. Maybe there was some money that they could have spent to bring some players in or stay ahead of schedule.
I know that you hate this because you're a player.
I don't hate it.
Well, no, but I think that you don't like it, and I think most people don't like it because you're a player, and most of us are fans. That organization laid out different goals than Super Bowl or bust. I'm telling you guys that. They said we need to be a great franchise financially. Somebody that people want to buy and wear your apparel, that want to go to your games, not just in Detroit, but all over the country. And we've seen that. And taking those big swings by a team that is much maligned, that isn't good at taking big swings, that can send you back to the old days like that. And that's what they're petrified about. They are more scared of that than they are charged up to win a Super Bowl. So 10 wins for this team year in and year out is success.
But see, the problem is you didn't get 10 wins last year. You got 9. And you legitimately haven't made moves. You haven't done the things that people have been clamoring you do. You've done it your way, and your way led to a boom. It led to a rise. It led to 12-5. It led to that.
4 straight winning seasons.
I understand that. It led to 15-2, and then it led to 9-8.
And the most expensive ticket in the NFL.
Understand that, but you went from 15 wins to 9, which means in the span of your ascension, you lost 6 games.
I'm not telling you this is how I'd run the team, Bray.
Yeah, all right? I feel you.
I'm just telling you what no fan in Detroit wants to accept.
Yeah.
This new Lions franchise is not Super Bowl or bust. It is be damn good every damn year. Sell the hell out of tickets. and become a franchise that people want to be a part of, which we've started to become.
You know what? If that's the case, Anson, then you know what they need to stop doing? Then everybody in their organization needs to stop before the season say it's Super Bowl or bust. Don't tell us it's Super Bowl or bust.
Have we heard them say that?
Yes, Dan Campbell said it. Brad said it. The players said it. The coach. They all said it. Yeah. He said last year and the year before. Because Brad Holmes doubled down. He said, you know what? If that's what Dan said, then he's right. Yeah, where we were, where we are, what we're doing, that should be Super Bowl or bust. They've said it 2 years in a row.
Is that Buddy's Pizza I smell?
I can't have it both ways. Look, let's take one last commercial break. We'll come back. We'll
clean up super chats.
Got another.
And Spendy said he likens this deal to one to replace basically Dan Skipper.
Yeah.
Another one of those versatile guys that was a voice and had a lot of experience in this league. So this is a good deal.
Yeah, 1,000%.
If we take a long enough break and we deal with Buddies long enough, we don't have to talk Michigan.
No, we're not going to talk Michigan. It's nothing to talk about. We'll mention it quick. But we do want to do a state's title agency yet one more time. Shout out to my boy Nabi. Glad to have you with the squad that is Woodward Sport. We're making closing simple and convenient. Yes, that's what they do. Whether you're buying a home or refinancing, the team of state's title agency makes the closing price simple and convenient. Proudly serving Michigan since 2003, my guy is an expert. Team delivered first-class title and escrow services and incredible speed. But the best part is the speed and accuracy. You know about the combination in the NFL. Hard to get. For all your title needs, call Mr. Deeds.
And if you're looking to take your relaxation to the next level, like I know all of you beautiful people are, then you got to make sure you visit the Massage Chair House in Bloomfield Hills. Why? Because it is literally the largest massage chair showroom in the Midwest, featuring top-tier brands like Infinity and Osaki. You want to know those brands? Because when you go, you want to know which ones to get to. Don't got to get straight to business. We got the Osaki premiere right here in our studio, and I'm telling you guys, I ain't felt nothing like it. Experience the difference with Dr. Eric Duncan, the Wellness Doctor, creator of the #1 YouTube channel for massage chair reviews at the Wellness Doc. Book your visit today at the Massage Chair House. Your ticket to ultimate recovery and relaxation.
Yeah, bring it right back.
Woodwardsports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward Sports gear. Woodwardsports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at woodwardsports.com. Game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports.
We're back, wrapping up the show. A lot to go on. Make sure you tap into the heavyweights. Still have more conversation on CADE, MAYS, tapping in. You know those boys are excited, but you get a lot more out of them too. We'll see how excited they are. Maybe they want more to come down that pipeline. They also can react to the acquisition of a tackle. So now you got a center and a tackle. What more is to come? Catch them 5-7. We'll get into Michigan State tomorrow. Michigan won the game 90-80. They finished the Big Ten 19-2, if you will, and also 10-0 on the road. You saw last week. Banner game, 2-0 against Michigan State. Kudos to Dusty May and the boys. We'll get into, like I said, there were some things that happened. I don't know if
Dusty May is that neighbor you can't stand. That smug,
but he's not
problem.
Smug.
He's so smug.
He's not smug.
He's not. Huh?
He's not smug. Oh my God. Now, I can't
so
wait.
smug.
I can't wait to poke Michigan State tomorrow. I just can't. But then we'll say
you wore your blue one today. You know, as excited as the heavyweights are to talk free agency, I'm excited about that. Walking up right here, my man Spenny. We got a visit from our proud sponsors at Buddy's, man, doing the original deep dish pizza, Detroit style. You already know.
Man, they just do it the best, man. We appreciate you guys. Look what we got going on here.
Ooh, man.
Hey, hold that up a little bit, Brian.
Wants an internship, and he brought Buddy.
Looks like he's hired.
Now you know how to do it. He knows how to do it.
Look at the grease.
Absolutely, we can talk, my friend.
Hey, hold that up, Anthony.
How to butter me right up, baby. Look at that, man. The original deep dish Detroit style pizza, man. I'm corner crooking the hell out of this thing.
This is it, right?
You already know, baby. Let's
look at Spin Dog on his Vanna White.
I think I might have a piece, man.
Oh boy.
Do it justice, Spinny.
Oh, man, this piece is so good. Look.
Shout out to our newest intern.
Hey, a lot to talk about, man. CADE MAYS, I know you boys are excited. Won't want you to tell anything. Save everything for 5 o'clock. That's it. That's
right. It's Spenny Smash. Appreciate you, Spenny.
Get after it, bro.
When we get through
Gordon,
super chats and everything else.
Appreciate you, Gordon.
Yep.
Good stuff, G.
Sheesh, man. Let's get to these.
Oh, and I got his resume, too. We don't even need it, man.
Hey, shout out to you, chat family, man. Y'all absolutely crushed it today. It was a big day for the Lions as they kick off free agency, actually making a move or two on that offensive line. So we got depth. We got a starter. And now we're going to get to you guys' comments before we wrap up. O'Brien with a $5 super chat. He says, Anson, Lions are signing Cam Jordan. Sounds like a Matt Millen signing. Veteran at the end of his career.
They signed him?
Bad memories from the Millen era.
Did they sign him?
I didn't see that, but that's what it. I didn't see the breaking news, but that's at least what he's telling us. The next one, Silas Burn. He says, can we re-roll the 2024 draft compensation? Anything? I feel you on that, Burn. I feel you on that. Getting through the rest of these. Teddy Fresh said, Kool-Aid with a $2 super chat. Hope is not a strategy. And I let them know in the chat, look, my faith has turned more into hope, but I haven't let go of either necessarily as it relates to my belief in the Lions. But I am hoping that they do some things. And I have to say that because we've been asking for an edge. They haven't necessarily supplied that, but we've still seen some success. So while I hope for it, I also recognize that Brad is where he is because he is that guy. He knows this a lot better than me. He knows a whole lot more football than he probably forgotten more than I'll ever know. So I will hope for now, and hopefully that hope it turns into restored faith this year with the Lions. And Teddy Fresh, again, he says, if you are not with the $5 super chat, shout out to all you guys for support, man. I can't say that enough. Y'all really hit that like button today. Smash it if you didn't get the opportunity to. But Teddy Fresh with the last super chat of the day says, if you're not going all in to win a Super Bowl, what is the daggone point? He put that in all caps. Had to do it justice.
I agree. I agree, but I also understand what Anson's saying. You're saying this is not necessarily how I would operate. This is just what our franchise, this is what our head, our front office, this is how they operate. This could be how they potentially operate. Damn it, I hope not.
Those handcuffs come off at some point, I would think, but at this point with Jared Goff in tow, I think they have to be somewhat careful. They've got to nurture this team along, and they're worried to go all in. Now, once they make the decision to go away from Jared Goff, which will eventually happen, I would see this team taking some wild moves. But I still think in this next year, you will see one big trade out of this team. Might come on draft day, might come at the deadline, but they are at that point now. It's time to go.
That's what the Bunyan is telling you?
I'm gonna tell you like this too. Everybody's looking at Matt Stafford and looking at their quarterback Jared Goff. Like, well, shoot, Stafford's playing until 40 years old, and Tom Brady played, and this, that, and the third. Yeah, Jared Goff's arm not as strong as Matt Stafford's. So don't compare his long tenure to what Jared Goff is. So food for thought. You got to strike while the iron's out. I like Jared Goff, but that what he is.
His legend is stronger in this city.
Who cares about that? Stafford got Super Bowl. We'll talk more tomorrow, boy.
Boo them kids.
Whenever you mention his name, it's just always people say deep-seated hate. It's a deep-seated hate.
All he had to do was show love to the city, Bray.
This is true.
That's it.
But
really easy.
He didn't want to. He said F y'all.
He was so salty.
We'll see you guys tomorrow. Appreciate you in the chat, man. More to come. Free agency frenzy kicks off. It continues tomorrow. Moves will be made. Make sure you watch the heavies tonight, 5 to 7. So Sweet Potato Cam, Kool-Aid, Anson will all be back tomorrow, and we'll do this again. See you later.
Looking for your daily sports fix? Look no further. Join Braylon Edwards, the University of Michigan legend.
Lofting it right corner of the end zone for Braylon, up in the air. Touchdown, Michigan!
And Shep.
Do you believe this comeback?
Your favorite sports commentator as they tackle the hottest topics in the world of sports. Catch the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep. Monday through Friday from 2 to 4 p.m. on the Woodward Sports Network. Get ready to laugh, learn, and love sports like never before.